I'm on my own, broken and alone. I feel the rain crashing down. All around this empty town, I'm searching for the lost and found. But you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air, like a blazing flare. Just stare, cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me.
With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time.
And a pleasant good evening to all of you hockey fans and what is going on. Alongside Kyle Manifold, I am Neil Villapiano, the host of the Devil's State of Mind podcast covering the New Jersey Devils, and we welcome you to another playoff edition of Live Watch Along here on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel. And tonight, it's Game 2 of this Eastern Conference first-round matchup between the New Jersey Devils and the Carolina Hurricanes. The Hurricanes coming in after a dominant performance in game number 1, taking game 1 4-1 with Logan Stankoven scoring not 1 but 2 goals in that game. And they outshot the Devils by nearly 30 shots and just simply dominated them. As for the Devils, they come in with not much to really be positive about, right? You're down already a game in the series, and you already didn't have Jack Hughes and Jonas Siegenthaler. But in game number 2, you had 3 different guys get injured in game 1 and ended up not finishing the game. That was Cody Glass, Brendan Dillon, and Luke Hughes. After morning skate today, Sheldon Keefe announced that both Luke Hughes and Brendan Dillon will both not be playing tonight. So Dustin Chikolsky and Shimon Nemec will be in the lineup to replace both of them. Cody Glass is fine, and he will be back in the lineup tonight. So those are the changes. So the Devils continue to deal with a lot of depletion of their roster through this series, and we're only 1 game in. But nonetheless, let's see if we're up for a good one here tonight between these two Metropolitan Division foes. Kyle, first and foremost, good evening. Not too late of a time start for us today, as this game's going to get underway in just a few minutes. But how are you doing today, my friend?
Better. Last night was just like a little dreadful because I think we hit overtime there in that Stars Avalanche game, and I'm like, okay, we can do this. And then I told you before we jumped on, it was like 1 a.m, and then I go lay in bed, and then you start your mind just won't shut up, and your mind's like, no, I want to stay awake, and your eyes are like, no, I want to go to bed. So I'm a little tired going into this one here, but so happy it's 6 o'clock. I'm still gonna bring the energy, and I'm hoping for not. Yes, sun's still out, which is good. And I'm just kind of hoping for, we talked about it before we jumped on, that I think the first 20 minutes of this game is going to dictate a lot, I think, from what we see the rest of the way here in this one. And if they can hang around, then, maybe something surprising happens.
Without question. And it's going to be interesting to see how both of these teams come out, what changes are made. If you're Carolina, there isn't much you really need to change in terms of how you played. You basically dominated from start to finish. Should also mention really quickly, our good friend Jimmy Finizzi from the Blue Seats, he will be on with us at the beginning of the second period. So it'll just be myself and Kyle through the first 20 minutes of action. Shout out to the Sound the Siren guys who I had on our preview of this series between the Devils and Hurricanes. Go check it out if you have not already. And as always, our good buddy RJ, hit those likes and subscribe. Yes, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel. Also hit that notification bell. As shocking as this might be, Gaza's actually picking the Devils today. I actually can't believe that because he didn't pick them in the last game. So find this very interesting nonetheless. But thank you so much, Gaza. Good to see you as always, my friend. And thank you to everybody who's already jumped in with us here in this one. For the Devils, I mean, as I mentioned to you, Kyle, numerous times, for as bad as the Devils were in game one, the best part about it is that you can only go up from here. And while things look bleak with the amount of main guys not in the lineup tonight, it's going to, again, have to be a collective effort. The one thing that does change for the Devils is that they have basically moved Nico Hischier, Jesper Bratt, and Timo Meier to 3 different lines. That was something that Sheldon Keefe did in the third period of game one, and it worked pretty well despite them not scoring. So obviously Keefe wants to continue on and try to build off of that third period because that was the best of the 3 periods. So, yeah. It's going to be interesting. Devils win. Series is tied at a game apiece. Hurricanes win. They're up 2-0 halfway there towards the second round with the series shifting to New Jersey. Game 3 of the series will be Friday night, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, as that game will be in Newark, New Jersey. Then Game 4 is at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. So that's the update there. But we have live watch-alongs going on throughout this entire week. We had one last night. Kyle and Bailey did a great job. Great job.
Kudos to Bailey, more or less.
Kudos to Bailey, 1,000%. She did a fantastic job, as she always does. And we had a really great game between those two, between the Avs and the Stars. Stars ended up coming back and winning the game in overtime, late in the first overtime. And we also had a little bit of fun keeping our eyes on that Edmonton Oilers game, which was an insane comeback by the Oilers. But they still lost in regulation and still are down 1-0 anyway. So
couldn't be happier.
Couldn't be happier if you're Kyle. Kyle, let's just jump right into it. What are your predictions for this one as we're just about ready to get underway?
Like we said, you're going to see it in the very first 20 minutes of this one. You wonder if defensively they're able to kind of hold the fort. You're probably not going to see a lot of minutes here from, or who knows, maybe you do see a lot of minutes, maybe from Nemec and, Chawolski coming in. He probably won't see a lot of time. So you might be playing with that kind of 5D system a little bit, but, I don't think there's a lot of excuses still tonight, right? You hear about it all the time with these injuries, but there's no excuses anymore, right? You gotta find a way here, and there's still a chance here to snag one here. And, all you have to do is take one back and you get it back home. And you said it yesterday, you're not in danger until you lose a game at home. And who knows, it might make the difference tonight, but you got to find a way to slow this team down here a little bit in that first period, because they kind of carried it away there in game one the other day. And you got to find a way to slow that down and just make them play a little bit more your style. So it'll be tough though. Again, you're in a tough building, and the favorite's going to be Carolina still tonight. I think still of our viewers are still picking New Jersey to win, but it's a tall task still right now, because they're fully healthy. They're ready to go. And it's going to be a tall task tonight.
Without question. Score prediction wise for me, I'm going to go 4-2 Devils. I think that there is.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
You went through that whole thing and did not give me
a score.
I can give you the fine. By the way, the game has just gotten underway here in these first couple of moments, but I'm going to go with a 4-2 Devils win tonight. I think that they do have the capabilities, and I think they are going to play a lot better tonight. Could be wrong. I've been wrong many times before, so it wouldn't shock me. Devils, by the way, when trailing 2-0, won the series 2 out of the 10 times when they've trailed 2-0. When they've tied the series at a game apiece, they've won the series 14 out of the 26 times. So I think it's fair to say, Kyle, that the Devils definitely want to find a way to even up this series here before it shifts to New Jersey. But what is your score prediction for tonight's game?
I got to keep it real. I got to go with Carolina tonight. As much as I want to see New Jersey win, I think it'll be closer than what we think. I do think it'll be close. it be somewhat high scoring. I'm going to go 4-3 Carolina in regulation.
4-3 Carolina. All right, sounds good. Well, look, the Hurricanes have been really fantastic at home. They've made the Lenovo Center a place of horrors for the visiting teams, and the Devils are no exception to that, as they definitely have to find a way to pull off what would definitely be an upset victory for sure here, and more importantly, again, the opportunity to even up the series. But again, we are underway here, just about 90 seconds into the contest, as Dmitry Orlov banks that pass.
You guys have started? They haven't even dropped the puck yet here.
Oh, Kyle's definitely very far behind. So stand by there.
They haven't dropped the puck yet.
That's why it took you so long to give me your prediction, because you didn't realize, which is fair. I'm not gonna knock on you for that. But
it's Emily Kaplan still talking.
Emily Kaplan is still talking. Well, you have to deal with ESPN, and that's your choice.
Well, I don't have a choice. I get one channel.
They don't broadcast these games in Canada. You have to watch
one stream. Well, like you can watch it on Sportsnet, but still, it's gonna be.
Well, you don't like Sportsnet anyway.
Well, I don't really have much of a choice. So
yeah, I know you don't.
That's my only choice, actually.
It is your only choice. I'm watching this game actually on the Devils' regular feed, which is MSG Networks. So I have that going for me. So I have multiple options. As that pass in front there gets broken up, Devils wearing their regular white, red, and black uniforms, while the Hurricanes are going with their always impressive black with red trimming uniforms. There's an opportunity here early. Backhand trying a good save there by Jacob Markstrom on Robinson there. Biggest opportunity of the early going, but Markstrom makes the save. And Jacob Markstrom, Kyle, he had a really strong game one despite giving up 3 goals. Really wasn't his fault that he could not get the win. The Devils just really didn't support him. Nico Hischier even said after the game that was really a big thing, that he tried everything he could to keep them out of it. As now Nico Hischier comes into the offensive zone, tries a drop pass, gets a Timo Meier with a turnaround shot. That puck comes out in front for a moment, is now Palat with it. Now Timo Meier to the right side. Timo Meier, turnaround shot. That one's fought off by the leg pad of Anderson. Nico Hischier again with the puck at the right faceoff dot. He takes a wrist shot, just goes wide. As now Martinook trying to get it out. He cannot. Pull up with a sharp angle try that's fought off by Anderson. Now puck in the right corner in the Carolina zone. It's Kovacevic and Jordan Stahl fighting along there. Dawson Mercer trying to take that puck away here, and he's able to for just a moment. Jesper Bratt now has to lost the puck, and it's out of the zone. Mercer gets it back in. Devils looking to come the other way. Eric Holla with a shot. That one stopped. Try, and then score! Jesper Bratt less than 4 minutes in on a tap-in, and the Devils strike first. It's 1-0 New Jersey.
Turns out I had to refresh my page, and now I'm caught up.
There he's caught up now, but Jesper Bratt with his first, Kyle, even though that is his second career playoff goal, that is his first career playoff goal with a goaltender in the net. So that one definitely counts. I know, it's very funny. And that was a little bit of a lucky bounce, but you're going to take it nonetheless. What a feed from Eric Holla, and a great job moments prior to that by Dawson Mercer to keep that puck in, and the Devils get off to the exact perfect start that they need. Quiet the crowd a little bit, and they grab the early 1-0 lead here in Carolina.
Brendamore pissed. He clearly is pissed on the bench.
You and I are looking at this again in offsides here against the Devils. You and I are looking at it from different feeds, because I got the Devils,
Brendamore, like, he threw something against the wall behind him. He was pissed.
Well, clearly would you like the way your team started this game?
You're not.
You're 4 minutes in.
Scrambling. They seem like they're scrambling a little bit.
A little bit. Devils have come out with a lot more sense of urgency, a lot more on the forecheck. And that's exactly what you needed if you're the Devils, as Markstrom will play that puck over to Dougie Hamilton. Gets taken away, and then Cody Glass with a hit on Kotkaniemi there. Good, solid hit. Cody Glass was one of the 3 guys that's mentioned that got hurt in the first game against Carolina, game number 1 on Sunday. But he is back in the lineup tonight, as that shot deflected wide of Markstrom. Didn't know where it was. Hurricanes keeping the puck in. That shot there gets blocked as well, and Paul Cotter's able to not get it out. But now Dougie Hamilton will flip it out to Stefan Nason, who's one-on-one by himself. Gets around one defender, but loses the puck. As now the Devils looking to once again try to keep it in the zone. They cannot. Jesper Bratt, First goal of the game, his first of this year's playoffs, Eric Hulla and Dawson Mercer with assists on that one, as that came just a little bit over 4 minutes into this contest. And again, Kyle, if you're New Jersey, that's the exact start that you want here, as the shots are 5-1 in favor of the Devils in the early goings.
Certainly wasn't expected, but like Carolina just hasn't gotten settled yet. And they just it was a matter of like, maybe they think beforehand, like, not to say it was going to be like, oh, they got injuries and it's going to be too easy, but they kind of let their foot off the gas a little bit, and New Jersey just came out swinging.
For sure, as that puck goes up and out of play, faceoff will be still in the Carolina zone with 14:40 to go. What's really funny, Kyle, is that the live odds presented by DraftKings still has the Devils as the underdogs on the live money line, despite getting the first goal. They're at plus 104, while the Hurricanes are at minus 232.
Yeah, no, I can see that, though. I understand why.
It is early in the game. And by the way, speaking of DraftKings, make sure, if you haven't already, to sign up with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the Hockey Podcast Network. When you sign up, use our promo code THPN. You bet $5, you get $200 instantly in risk-free bets. So just wanted a little shameless plug. It's not even shameless plug. It isn't
shameless.
It's not shameless. It's our job. We have to plug them.
They took our jobs. Sorry.
They took our jobs. It's not Andre Palat.
Sorry, I had South Park on like an hour ago while I was taking a nap. Of course.
Well, last night Kyle was so tired. I think he sang about 4 or 5 different songs. He sang Dolly Parton at one point.
Dolly Parton, the Cars.
Rascal Flats. You went Rascal Flats. Yeah, I forgot what else you sang.
I mean, it could get spicy tonight. Who knows? Maybe it'll be American Idol on THPN.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's gonna be American. Yeah, right, exactly. Last shot was taken by Palat. That actually was stopped by the head of Freddie Anderson. So that's so
no Kochetkov in tonight. Was he not in game 1?
He was not in game 1 either. So again,
they're riding with Anderson. Interesting.
They are riding with Anderson, who has unfortunately a little bit of injury history. Missed some time earlier this year with an injury, but he had a strong game number 1 despite not being tested too much. And he's back in net here tonight, currently giving up the only goal, but still early in the game as Dmitry Orlov walks the line here in the New Jersey zone. As the Hurricanes have their first line out there, Dawson Mercer plays it over to Brian Dumoulin, who will flip it out of the zone. Excuse me. And now Jesper Bratt gets around one defender. Bratt with the puck, feeds it in front, and that just missed the streaking Paul Cotter there as he was crashing the net, but couldn't get enough on it to get a shot on goal. But Kyle, one of those guys, Jesper Bratt, is one of the several main guys the Devils have to look to try to step up here in the series, as Cody Glass with a shot that's fought off there.
Leading point scorer. Oh, so Cody Glass is okay, actually. That's good.
Cody Glass is okay. That was a very unfortunate situation in game 1 where he was slashed pretty badly by Jacob Markstrom. And Markstrom even admitted he was trying to slash Svechnikov, we're being honest. And Cody Glass even said today after morning skate, he said, now that I'm okay, it's kind of something funny to look at. So everybody's fine from that situation.
Mostly everybody's fine.
Well, I was saying from that situation.
Yes, of course.
But again, Brendan Dillon and Luke Hughes are both out tonight with differing injuries. We don't know whether they'll be available for game number 3. We will have a couple of days, as mentioned before game 3. So we'll see. We'll keep our eye on it as we move along here in this series.
Know.
Right. You never know. You never know. Later
this
on,
is the most random comment I've ever seen. I'm sorry.
Currently win a playoff series between the Bruins and Sabres. Well, the Sabres kind of finished the year pretty well, no?
I'd go Buffalo.
Buffalo in what? I go 6.
Yeah, I'd say 6.
Yeah, Buffalo in 6. Honestly, Eric, love that question. Love that. We got our first stoppage of play. 8 minutes exactly into this first period. Jesper Bratt with the game's first goal, giving the Devils their first lead of the series. They lead at 1-0 so far.
Sorry, 7:30 tonight is going to be Leafs and Sens game 2. We got 8:30 tonight for the Florida Panthers and the Lightning to begin their series. And then you have Vegas and Minnesota game 2 tonight as well at 11 o'clock. Eastern.
I was about to say, Kyle, at what time?
11 o'clock.
Absolutely criminal.
I'll be dead. I'll be
I don't know
way
if I'll stay up for that, honestly. I'm going to be real with you. I don't think I could.
Mm-mm.
But, Kyle, I think it's that time of the stream where we let the people know what we're drinking tonight. So I'm going to let you go first.
I'm on the lighter side tonight, so I got
Mhm.
about 4% Miller Lite. Nothing
Okay.
crazy. Nothing crazy. But you have your interesting one actually that I'm
I do actually. I do.
by.
So my podcast, Devil State of Mind, which you haven't yet, please go check out, covering the New Jersey Devils. I'm sponsored. I am partnering with Tom's River Brewing, which is about 30 minutes south of me here in the great state of New Jersey, located out of Tom's River, and they are famous for their stick toss lager, which is basically a little play off of that goal that Jack Hughes scored a couple years ago, where he threw the stick in the stands, stick toss. For this playoffs, they actually created a new one called Raise Hell Lager, which I actually just got today, and I've tried a little bit so far. It is fantastic. Huge fan of Tom's River Brewing. They have done super well with all of their products, have done a great job, sponsoring my podcast. And it should be mentioned that we will have an upcoming giveaway with them as early as tomorrow. And it's the big one. You do not want to miss out on this. Make sure to check the podcast out on Instagram at Devil State of Mind. Also, Tom's River Brewing at Tom's River Brewing on Instagram. Shout out to them. And I think my dad just left a comment. Always good.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. Always good to score first, especially on the road. Exactly. They're watching literally in the other room. And of course, my dad comments while he's sitting in the other room, which I appreciate. So we're back underway here in this first period. 11:45 and ticking to go in the first. Devils still with the 1-0 lead. Timo Meier with a turnaround shot that gets fought off. Dougie Hamilton out with the puck. Wrist shot through traffic gets blocked. Hamilton falls down. No penalty there. And then it looks like Timo also fell. I guess the ice is truly slippery tonight, Kyle.
Devils 19-4-1 when scoring first on the road. That's third best in the NHL.
Again, that just shows you how important getting that first goal is for the Devils in a multitude of different ways. Palat now fighting with the puck in the left boards. Nico Hischier tried to keep it in, but it's intercepted by Jordan Martinook. And Martinook slowly able to get away. Might have an opportunity on a backhand. That one gets stopped, and we have our first penalty of the game. It's going to be a hooking call against the Devils. I think it's going to be Kovacevic that might be going to the sin bin. So the Hurricanes now have a big opportunity, trailing by a goal, to get this game tied in. Is Palat. Excuse me, I had it wrong. It's Andre Palat going to the box. It's a 2-minute hooking call. And I'll look again. Yeah, he hooked. Actually, to be honest with you, Kyle, both Kovacevic and Palat hooked Martinook on the same play. So you could have called that on either one of them, honestly.
Fair enough. No, I was just gonna say Sheldon Keefe would probably love the fact that Kovacevic is in the box.
Yeah, I know. Everybody loves that comment that he made after a loss against the Senators about a month ago, saying Kovacevic needs to play better. I truly believe it got taken out of context, but it's fine. It doesn't matter anymore. So it was funny though. Looking back on now, it was quite funny. I had a chuckle.
I mean, for the power play coming up here, like, you have to find a way to kill this here. You got to keep gaining that momentum a little bit here, right? Even you have to find a way to get to the end of the first period here with the lead. You got only 10 minutes left here, so you got to find a way to kill this.
Hurricanes were 1 for 3 on the power play with 9 shots in game number 1, and a big time hit there by Kovacevic. Hurricanes have the puck behind the net, left side over to Aho, and Aho couldn't keep it in, and it goes all the way back into the Carolina zone with about a minute to go on the power play. So the Hurricanes struggling a little bit here in the early goings to try to control that puck as Shane Gostisbehere comes up center of the ice and drops it off now to Seth Jarvis, who now leaves it for Kotkaniemi. Back top of the point to Gostisbehere, over to Svechnikov. Gostisbehere top of the point. Still with the puck now. Makes a feed over to Kotkaniemi, now to Svechnikov. Svechnikov with it, still feeds it over to Seth Jarvis. Jarvis tried to make a feed, but it got broken up in front. Dougie Hamilton backhands it over to Kovacevic. Kovacevic tries to get there first. He stops, looking to try to clear, and he cannot. It's a hit off of Dawson Mercer. Canes keep it in. Stankoven, top of the point. Oh, and it bounced off the stick of Burns, and it goes all the way back into the Hurricane zone with 23 seconds to go. Logan Stankoven, Kyle, 2 goals, including the game winner in game number 1 I'm sure the Dallas Stars miss him maybe a little bit.
Well, I mean, right now, because Rantanen's not doing anything.
Rantanen did get a point last night. We got to give him that.
Okay.
He did get a point.
All right, I'll give him credit.
He now has points, by the way, Kyle, in 18 of his first 22 games as a member of the Dallas Stars.
Good for him.
Power play is up for Carolina, so not much really on that one. So the Devils are able to kill it off. Couple of just bad bounces by Carolina. Couldn't keep the puck in and really couldn't set up a whole lot. So, Kyle, the Devils do exactly what they needed to do, and that was kill off that power play. And so now we'll see if they can use that as a little bit of momentum here to try to see if they could double it up. As I think we have a penalty here against the Hurricane. I think it might be on the Hurricanes this time. Or it might have been an offsides. Either way, stoppage of play, 8:42 to go in the first. Devils still with the 1-0 lead.
How do you feel so far?
I feel pretty sad. I don't want to say satisfied. I feel better about the way they've come out in the first period so far. They don't look nervous. They don't look intimidated. They look like that they've kind of gotten back. Excuse me.
You're good.
They've gotten back to playing more of their style of play. And they got the first goal, which was very important considering how well they do once they grab the early lead.
Yeah. No, I thought you were going to say, I'm sad. I'm sad they scored.
I want
Big
more goals. I want it to be
5-0
right now. This is ridiculous.
Huge hit there by Kovacevic right at the end there.
Right, for real. And do you think right now, we're only what is this, day 4 of the playoffs? I know it's still kind of early.
4 days in. Yep,
do you think the refs, for the most part, have been fine? I feel like they've kind of been fine.
Well, if you're everybody but a Senators fan, yes.
That's fair, yes. Yeah. And Travis Green had choice words for said ref after the game. What's up, Jordan?
Hey, Jordan. Yeah,
hey, look,
I know that. They all had choice words, right? And Sens fans did, but it's like, okay, you want to shit talk the refs, you still lost 6-2.
Yes. You know what I find interesting, Kyle? If you look over at the goaltending section of this scoreboard, it says that Anderson has a 1,000 save percentage, and I'm like, that's not correct, but okay.
That's so wild.
I got nothing on that one. I got nothing. I actually have nothing.
Okay. That's
but let's move on, shall we?
Weird. Very strange.
Let's move on. Jesper Bratt, in his postseason career, including that goal he just scored, 15 games, 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points. And I know for Bratt, in just his 3rd appearance in the Stanley Cup playoffs, this is a big year. This is a big playoff for him because of the year that he had, broke the Devils' assist record. It was Jesper Bratt, by the way, MC, in case you're just joining us. It was Jesper Bratt, his first goal of these playoffs, assisted by Eric Holla and Dawson Mercer.
Do you like that? Halfway through the first period, ESPN now has Sheldon Keefe put on the headsets and has to talk to them.
Yes.
Stupid, right?
You know why? Get it out of the way now.
Oh, you like it?
Just get it out of the way. Yeah. Are you talking about, do I like that in general that they do that, or do I like that they're doing it as early as they are?
Yeah. Do you like them doing it not as early as they are, but in the manner to which they're doing it?
I mean, I don't like that personally. I like when I'm fine with them doing it in the regular season. In the playoffs, I would rather they not do that.
I hate it because it's I know.
In general, you hate it, or in the playoffs, you hate it?
No, in the playoffs, regular season, I think is different. But once you're in playoff time, it's let them focus, man.
Leave them alone.
Yeah, leave them alone. Let them just focus here.
Jordan Martinook had a pretty good opportunity just moments ago. I don't know if he got the shot on goal or if it got deflected out of play, but nonetheless, face off in the Devils zone with 8:16 to go. In the first period, Cody Glass, one of the few people that wears a tinted visor, and he wears it for a specific reason, Kyle, not because he wants to.
Oh,
so
what reason is that?
Yeah, I was going to bring it up. So the reason is Cody Glass, unfortunately, has had a couple of concussions earlier in his career. He's still a pretty young player, by the way. But he wears it to lower the intensity of the lights in arenas. So That's why he wears it.
Okay.
So kind of interesting. I have the Devils.
Sorry. He had Devils 2-1, and he saw the Oilers and Kings game was awesome last night.
Now, I give Donnell a lot of credit. Donnell brought up the Lou Lamoriello situation on Sunday when we were doing game 1 of this series. And he was like, do you think Lou Lamoriello is going to get fired? Or why hasn't he been fired? Well, he has been let go by the Islanders. The Islanders will be going for a new GM. I have no idea where they're going. like moving forward. I don't know what the next step is.
I do.
Blow it up.
Well, I have an idea of someone who may be targeted this offseason.
Oh God.
Well,
Would you like to share?
Do you think Matt Barzal is sticking around?
No.
Do you know how old Matt Barzal is?
Is he like 26?
He's like 25, I think.
Kyle,
you know what he is? He's a centerman. You know what? Right? You know what
Kyle,
shot he shoots?
Kyle,
right shot.
Fine. By the way, just to cut you off real quick, we do have a delayed penalty here against the Devils again. So the Devils, unless the Hurricanes score before that, the Devils will be going to the penalty kill yet again in the early goings of this game. So this is not what you want to do here. It's another big hit by Kovacevic, this time on Blake. There's a shot there that's fought off by Markstrom. Devils looking to just touch the puck here. Good job by the Canes to keep it going. Cotter gets leveled by Gostisbehere, but the puck is touched by a Devil, and we get a stoppage of play as we now will have that penalty called. I believe it is Paul Cotter going to the box with 6:51 to go in the first. So again, Kyle, the Devils will have to kill off a penalty.
That's not great. 5 minutes to go either, right? Like,
you are playing with fire with the amount of penalties that they've already taken.
You really are, right? You're kind
gotta
of
see it again. For it. Okay, kind of a trip. Yes, maybe. I don't know if you call that a trip. Maybe a look close to a knee on knee. Got to be careful there. Can't. Cotter did not like that call whatsoever.
Again, like you're giving them life here. Like you're giving them an opportunity to get back into this, right? Like,
this is this is tough. This is tough, but we'll see what both teams could do here. As the face-off won by the Canes, as Gostisbehere looks to set it up. Kotkaniemi tries to wrap it around the boards. Intercepted by Dumoulin, but he can't fully get it out. Canes keep it in. Jarvis now to Aho. Top of the point to Gostisbehere. Over to Svechnikov with a shot, but he fanned on it. Now look to regroup. Svechnikov on the right side. Gets it top point to Gostisbehere. Left side now to Aho. Now to Gostisbehere. Fakes the slap shot. Walks the line. Gives it to Aho. And that pass, as they tried to feed it back to Gostisbehere, but Brett gets a stick on it, and it goes out of play with 1:35 remaining on the Canes' man advantage. And one thing, you could say the opposite here, Kyle. The opposite for the Hurricanes is if you don't score in this one, I mean, you're 0 for 2 already. And that, you got to be careful because sometimes getting that many opportunities and not taking advantage might come back to hurt you later on in the game.
Yeah, also, I think it's just both sides, really. Like, you don't see a, maybe you're starting to see them more settle in a little bit, right? Like, you're getting a little bit more urgency here, but still for New Jersey, it's like you can't keep giving them ways to find a way back into this.
You can't. It's now Aho in the left faceoff dot with it. Still over now to Seth Jarvis. Gets it to Svechnikov. Drive. That one gets blocked by Nico Hischier. Hurricanes looking to try to reset here. Puck in the left corner where Seth Jarvis gets to it first. He gets it top of the point to Gostisbehere. Right side now to Svechnikov. Svechnikov now over to another teammate. Now to Gostisbehere. Over to Jarvis with a drive. And that one goes high in the net. And it goes all the way out back into the Canes zone. So Hurricanes a little bit better on this second go-around, Kyle, but not getting a whole lot on net. Devils doing a good job of blocking shots, but even some of the shots the Canes are taking are not even hitting the net.
You're starting to see, especially through these playoffs, guys are getting boxed out very quickly. You saw it during the Leafs game. You saw it a bit last night on the power play here for both Stars and the Avalanche, and you're seeing it here in the first two power plays here. They're just finding good ways to keep boxing them out and keeping them on the outside here. No real chances in front of the net.
And now the Devils look to come the other way to kill off some clock as Timo Meier will flip it in. Nason trying to keep that puck in the offensive zone here against Brent Burns. 15 seconds to go on this man advantage. Maybe one last rush here if you're Carolina. Taylor Hall up the center of the ice. Hall with it. Makes a nice feed to Roslovic. Now to Orlov. Now to Roslovic. Roslovic with a shot. That one's fought up by Markstrom. Puck is loose, but it gets over to Bastian, and Bastian can't get it out completely, but the power play is up for Carolina, so they are now 0 for 2 on the night here, already in this first period. So again, Carolina having some chances here on the man advantage, but cannot cash in, still trailing 1-0.
Can't cash in.
Was that you making fun of my voice?
No, sorry. I was just repeating.
Right.
Sorry. Yeah,
Right,
yes and no. I wasn't trying to.
Yes and no. All right, fair enough.
I'm gonna be a bit loopy tonight.
That's okay. As now, broken stick. Devils might have a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Left side over to Palat or Holla. Holla with a shot that gets fought up by Anderson. Jesper Bratt fighting along with Orlov. Devils get to it first, and Nemec will backhand it over to Chowalski. Again, Chowalski and Nemec are in for the injured Brendan Dillon and Luke Hughes tonight. That is the only change. Actually, it's not the only change, as Tatar came in for Daniel Sprong. No injury there. They just wanted to make a change.
Should switch something up here. Spark something.
Spark a little bit of something as we get another stoppage of play. 3:46 to go in the opening frame. Devils still up 1-0 here in this first period.
All righty.
Good
pretty
game
entertaining so far. Yeah, pretty entertaining.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
We're both great minds think alike.
You're still like for your New Jersey here, like you're a little disappointed with the back end of that first period, just kind of letting those two penalties happen.
Yes.
But you're still doing a good job of keeping them outside. So a little bit of confidence here going into the end of the first if they can hold on here.
Yeah, without question. I think you got to like how you came out. You found a way to get the game's first goal. You've actually been out shooting the Hurricanes in the early going here, but you've already had to kill off 2 penalties. And that's something Sheldon Keefe's going to definitely mention to his team, that you can't be doing that. You can't be giving them that many opportunities on the man advantage. But if you're Rob Brind'Amour, is there any specific part of the Canes game so far in this one that he would want to see changed right away, other than obviously being down 1-0?
Maybe just being like, you're just watching on those power plays. I think you got to start taking some chances here. Like, yeah, you're getting a couple of block shots, guys in front of, Aho on the outside and Svechnikov on the other side too. Like, you're still finding guys like ways in front of them and blocking, but you got to try to keep finding ways here at this point to just get something to the net, right? You got to, even if it's something like any sort of scramble or garbage goal or whatever you have to do, like you have to just kind of make sure you get in behind. You have to find a way to get in behind them here, given these power plays. And even 5-on-5, when you're getting chances to get set up here, you got to find a way to get behind them a little bit almost, because the good thing for the Devils is that they are keeping everything in front of them. And that's why they've been successful on those 2 penalty kills.
I love that. Love that. So actually they're kind of showing. Do you remember Patrick Sundstrom? Does that name ever ring a bell to you, Kyle?
I feel like
Sundstrom,
it does.
Former NHL player.
Okay.
So on April 22nd, 1988, when he was a member of the Devils, in a playoff game against the Capitals, he put up 5 points in a 7-2 win over the Capitals in a playoff game. So I just thought that was kind of cool.
Sundstrom. Yeah, it sounds familiar, but I don't recognize the name.
It's fair. It's not a name that I think the majority of the Devils fan base would remember as Martinook. What a play there. That shot is fought off on a great feed from Martinook as he was down on his knees. But the shot gets stopped by Markstrom. Now the Devils come the other way. Brett Pesce with a shot that goes into the chest of Anderson, and we get a face-off here.
Completely different look so far. So happy to see Bratt get his first non-empty net
I know
goal.
Goody. Goody's a Twitter friend of mine.
But
Good to see you, buddy. And he always has that great profile pic from Shoresy.
Oh, right. Okay. I was like, I had no idea.
No.
Wow. The fact that Martinook, they showed the replay there. The fact that he got that pass off was impressive.
And I look at the shot, little bit behind. I mean, I'm not going to crack on Martinook, but like a little bit behind Stahl. Couldn't get all of it. Mm-hmm. And that shot didn't really look like it was going like past Markstrom. Makes the save anyway. Icing here against the Canes. 3:21 to go. And there's Erik Haula, arguably the most hated man in the history of the Carolina Hurricanes, without question.
Should I ask why?
I mean, I could give you a general answer to that, but Hurricanes fans, especially people from like the Surge cast or somebody, can give you a better, more detailed description of why. Okay. Simply put, Haula spent a good amount of time complaining about his role in Carolina and playing for the Hurricanes. I think his wife also got involved at some point on social media.
Great.
And yeah. And then also, I think it was 2 years ago, Jesper Bratt over to Erik Haula, but couldn't get a shot off. Bratt gets it back, feeds it in front, couldn't get it to Mercer. Puck is loose. Kovacevic keeps it in, now over to Jesper Bratt. Now over to Hall, but he lost it. Partial breakaway here for Seth Jarvis. He comes in with a shot, and he gets denied by Jacob Markstrom. Couldn't get all of it, but Markstrom makes the save nonetheless, as that could have been a disaster there for the Devils. But Markstrom, again, making the necessary save. But yeah, no, so that's kind of basically why Eric Hall. So whenever Hall comes back, he's booed a ton. Everybody else who's a former Cane who's on the Devils gets cheered. So like Dougie gets cheered, Nason gets cheered, Pesci gets cheered. Like it's not, but with Hall, he gets booed unrelentingly. Also, there was a picture of Eric Hall playing golf. I think it was not this past summer, the summer before, and he had a friendship bracelet, kind of like the one I'm wearing, that says "Canes suck." So it's kind of like that. So there's a lot there with that. So it's just, which actually my bracelet also says "Canes suck." Fun fact.
No, and then Zach has one too, doesn't he?
I think Zach
he has a bracelet, something.
He has something. Zach's actually at this game, as we talked about last night.
Yeah, he told us it was a what?
He's in the press box.
3.5 hour drive there and a 3.5 drive back. Or something.
Bless. Hey, at least it's a 6:00 start, right? So like at least.
God bless that man.
If it was like 8:00, I'd feel really bad.
I would too.
I would feel very bad. I hope he gets home safe.
I would too. Yeah.
Oh, Mike Patrick passed away. That's sad.
Oh, that's not good.
Turnaround shot there is stopped by Anderson. Puck is loose. Nate Bastian with actually that shot there, and it got denied. Devils again intercepting it in the offensive zone. Dowling with a shot that gets blocked. Puck comes back the other way here as Orlov's by himself. He'll have to stop and wait for reinforcements. Gets it over to Jack Roslovic. Roslovic gets banged up by Justin Dowling there on the right side. Both teams kind of fighting for it now. Puck comes out in front, but Tomas Tatar gets there first, and he'll skate it up to the right side into the Carolina zone. Stops on a dime, waits for somebody, but loses the puck. Now the Canes come the other way. 1 minute to go in this first period here as Markstrom bounces that puck around the boards. Tatar one-hands it, tries to get it out. He can't get it fully out. Now the puck comes out in front, but couldn't get a shot off there. Hurricanes out the puck in the right corner. Jack Roslovic along with Robinson for Carolina, but now the puck is dumped out of the zone by New Jersey. Carolina with a late push here, trying to see if they can tie this game up before the horn. Gostisbehere with a backhand pass, gets it over to Aho. Carrier was the man on that one. That puck bounces now to Markstrom. He'll lightly play it to Kovacevic with 27 seconds to go in the period. Dumoulin up the left side. He'll feed it over to Mercer. Nice feed. Now over to Eric Haller with a shot. That one misses wide of Anderson. Palat now trying to be the first one to get to it. He couldn't control it. Dumoulin now right in front of the Canes bench, and he'll dump it back into the Carolina zone with 10 seconds to go in the period. That puck bounces high up into the air. Both teams struggling to get to it. 3 seconds to go. Canes coming back. Maybe one last chance if they hurry. Stank coming with a shot that misses wide. And that'll do it for the first 20 minutes of action. So the Devils walk out of the first 20 with a 1-0 lead and certainly played a lot better on both ends of the ice. As for Carolina, couple of opportunities on the power play, but could not cash in. But again, it is only one period, still got 40 more minutes to go. But Kyle, really quickly, your thoughts from both sides in the first 20.
Great start. I mean, you got him right on the hop there the first 5 minutes. Brendan Moore wasn't happy with the Hurricane start, but he probably isn't happy with the totality of that first period, not really getting any good chances there when an opportunity is given on those power plays. So, things have to change and pump up the aggression a little bit for Carolina. First period shots, though, still, pretty even actually compared to the first game, right? Like you have them at 17-5 to 9-6 now for the Devils. So much better from New Jersey. You gotta, outside of the first goal here, you gotta stay out of the penalty box a little bit more here. You don't want to keep giving them opportunities, and you maybe want to control it a little bit more and have a bit more time in the offensive zone, ice time wise.
You can make a lot of good points on both ends, and we'll see how things progress here. And do we have time for a break? You want to take a break?
I'm gonna go to the bathroom break.
All right, Kyle's going to we'll step aside for a little bit for you guys to get a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back for the first intermission report.
Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night. Comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time. Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time.
And welcome everybody here into our first intermission report alongside Kyle Manifold. I am Neil Villapiano. And after one period of play, it is the visiting New Jersey Devils having the 1-0 lead thanks to a goal from Jesper Bratt, his first of these playoffs. And again, Kyle, the Devils looked a lot better, a lot more confident, a lot more aggressive, ended up outshooting the Hurricanes 9-6 in that first period. They kind of picked up from where they left off in that third period of game number one. And other than obviously taking the two penalties, if you're Sheldon Keefe, you got to feel pretty good about where your team is, but hopefully they can build upon that here moving forward in this game.
Good, but not satisfied, right? Because you kind of let up a little bit there halfway through the first. This game could, like, hey, you take advantage of those two power plays, we're talking a 2-1 game all of a sudden, right? And then it's like, well, what was that for, right? So you just got to be careful of that and, make sure you're still building on the momentum you have going out of there. But, understand that, it's good, but it's not enough, right?
Right.
You need more. And in order to win in Carolina, especially, which is very hard. Oh, did I kind of die there for a second? Yes, I did.
Yeah, you cracked out for like a hot second. You're okay now. You're good.
Thanks. They're New Jersey 16-0-1 on the road when leading after one. So that's got to feel good. Even with the guys that are out, still got to feel good. It's going to be difficult still against this team and, against Carolina, which means you need to go out and, you need to keep piling on. Keep piling her on. Fair
enough. Pile on is
pile it on.
should definitely be a good word. And, it's about building off of momentum. And I think that I think that the Devils definitely silenced the crowd a little bit, getting that first goal and the fans being like, whoa, like Devils are going to push back.
Whoa.
Like that's going to happen. Good start. And if you're Carolina, I don't think there's any sort of like panic or anything. Is there frustration? Sure. You gave up the first goal. You had not one, but two power plays that didn't really generate much. I don't know if you noticed it, Kyle, but it seemed like the puck was really bouncing off of their sticks. Couldn't really get a lot of control there. And I remember talking to the Sound the Siren guys. They said the one thing that could hurt them in this series is their lack of success on the power play, which was one of the worst in the regular season this year at just under 20% success rate throughout the year. So I don't know if it's just the way that the lack of something or whatnot, but Jacob Markstrom saw everything in that first period.
Well, it's not going to help the longer if they somehow keep going throughout the playoffs here. Like, that's not going to help as you go on, right? You need that power play success in order to be successful. There's a lot of factors that you need in order to have a long and good run here in the postseason, and that's definitely one of them. So, especially in this type of series where you can't give your opposing team a little bit of life here, and you have to take advantage of those opportunities. So any power plays really going forward for Carolina, a lot of pressure is going to be on them to kind of execute.
For sure. And our good buddy, Jimmy Finizzi, he will be with us at some point, maybe during the second period, because that was a pretty quick first period. It's not even 7 o'clock. We're already well into the first intermission. But even if this goes to overtime, I think Kyle won't be dreading it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Fair enough.
Sends and Leafs just puck drop in 49 minutes from now. Just
49 minutes.
And Matthew Tkachuk is still a game time decision tonight for Florida.
I got to ask you, Kyle, do you think that he has like one of those really terrible injuries, something like a Tyler Seguin had, like in the bubble, where like half of his lower half is just completely destroyed?
Well, the concerning part is he's been out since Four Nations. Right?
Yes.
Now, there's two sides you can look at it. The one is, you know what? We're in a playoff spot. If the timeline for him was, let's say, a month, right?
Yeah.
At that point, okay, let's see where we are in March. We'll still say he's out, until the playoffs begin. Or there's the other side of the coin where he really is that banged up, and the injury is actually anywhere between like 2 to 3 months, 4 to 6 months, whatever the timeline may be. And that's concerning if you're Florida, because how grueling these runs have been these last two seasons, one to the final winning and one losing. So, you have to imagine, and it's not going to get easy here to start because you have to deal with a tough Tampa Bay team going in, and they're without Bjorkstrand. So, he is a game time decision. And I think if he's not 100%, you don't play him, right? You need him at 100%. For this series, right? You need him fully healthy. If he's anything but that, I would be very concerned to start him. But, that's why they went out maybe and got a guy like Brad Marchand if the injury they found out was that significant and they had to go out and acquire somebody like him. So, there's a couple of sides you can look at it. We'll never know the real answer here, maybe down the road. But if he's not 100%, he shouldn't be starting tonight.
For real. And that's kind of the big thing. And I think one of the reasons why people like the sexy pick in that series is to pick Tampa Bay is because of the fact that, number one, the Panthers are a bit banged up. There's no question about it. Even when Marchand was acquired at the deadline, he wasn't 100%. It took him a while to actually make his Panthers debut. And it's also very hard to repeat. I don't care how good how good you are or what situation you're in. It's very hard to repeat. And we know that Tampa team is a nightmare to play against the many times in the playoffs. And I'm glad that RJ brought this up. Martin Faravari is out for the remainder of the team's playoff run. He is undergoing knee surgery. So, Kyle, how big of a loss is that for the Washington Capitals moving forward?
It is big, but they're a deep team regardless. And you can bring up a number of set of guys who can come in and fill the role here, which is why, you go out there and get Anthony Beauvillier, who can maybe fill in that role a little bit if they found out Farabee was, kind of not 100% either. So it's a deep team, and they can attack you in a number of different ways. So, Farabee playing defense here, it's still a deep team, right? Yeah. I don't think it's that big of a concern really for Washington. As Darren's heading out for the night.
Later, Darren. Thank you so much.
Your night, man.
Oh, dude, I don't know if you saw, but there's like a live reaction of PK Subban reacting to the Devils scoring.
What did he say? Like, I told you.
That man was pumped. That
He was like,
if
I told you.
If there's one guy that is such a devil's homer on national TV, it's PK Subban. Like
Of course. Why wouldn't he be?
he absolutely loves it, which is like crazy because he's not as hyped about the Canadiens. Like watching the game, like it didn't seem like he was as pumped about it. So that was interesting.
It's funny. Well, it's funny because it's like you spent the majority of your career with Montreal and you're giving back to Montreal Sick Kids Hospital a lot. He does a lot of great community
He's still
work.
doing that. He's still
Right,
doing
and he
it.
spent a short amount of time with New Jersey. And I know maybe it's because it was more recent and maybe because he hasn't been with Montreal in a long time, so that might be why. But I don't know. You can't really judge him for it, right?
Jimmy said, by the way, he's going to join us in a couple of minutes. Just want to shout out a good buddy of mine. His name's
Amazing.
Steve. He's currently on a plane to Italy as we speak, so he only can use WhatsApp to message me. And this was, you know, the song "Give Me a Man After Midnight." You know that song?
Yes.
You know that song, right? Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this is
Yes.
what
Yes.
I'm not going to sing it. Okay. I'm glad you heard me.
Yeah.
He sent me, I'm not going to sing it, but he said, this is the text he sent me. He sent me, give me a winger from Sweden. He wears 63 and his name's Jesper Bratt. So,
Give me your man after midnight.
so shout out to Steve for that one. That was great. Really appreciated that.
How do I?
That was good. So now we'll see what happens here in the second period. Can you believe, Kyle? Can you believe, by the way, that it's still not 7:00 and this second period's almost about to start? Isn't that nuts?
I'm so happy.
Yes. So are you gonna? I'm assuming you're gonna watch some of the other games before you go to sleep tonight.
I might lay in bed and throw it on the TV. I might. Honestly,
instead of letting your thoughts run wild.
No, yeah. Honestly, as the older, like I used to do it younger, where I'm done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, I feel like I need that white noise, right? Or like I'll do the TV thing where I'll put it on like a timer for like an hour, but like I'm like asleep.
I love that. I love that.
It's
I'm
awesome.
glad that, by the way, one thing I don't know if you brought up before, Matthew brought this up. Another thing for Carolina, they had two partial breakaways in that first period and did not score on either one of them.
Two breakaways, two power plays.
Way too many
chances.
Yep. And Martin Duke said apparently on the national telecast, he said, we have to be careful defensively when the Heischer line is out there.
Well, also don't forget to one of the breakaways, he was kind of, I don't know who it was that stopped him there.
It was Seth Jarvis. He like sort of had a breakaway, but like
he didn't really have a good shot at it.
He didn't really have a shot. Like by the time he took the shot, like Markstrom had a stick down. It was kind of like he would have to run him over for that puck to like get, Yeah, but I remember Markstrom's 6'6". He's not a small man by any means.
Yeah, exactly. He's not a teeny tiny man.
Not a teeny tiny man at all.
Got Jimmy in a couple minutes here.
Yes, we do.
Beautiful.
Yes,
Perfect.
we do. And
what do you think his prediction's gonna be tonight?
Well, why don't we ask him, because he just jumped on.
All right, we'll ask him.
I'm just saying, ask him. Hi, Jimmy.
Hey.
How are you?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Doing
We're
pretty
alive.
well so far. Kyle's alive. That much. Kyle's alive.
Yeah. I might need. I'll if I fall asleep like halfway in the third, I just need a tag out.
Oh boy,
that's
I'll tap out.
Not enough sleep.
No, we were up till 1 a.m. Covering Dallas and Colorado.
Oh yes, that was some game, huh? Sheesh.
Jimmy, you got to move your camera a little bit.
I know. I see like half your face.
Yeah, hang on a second.
There it is. It's like we can only see half
that.
of that beautiful face.
Well, it was funny. We were covering overtime, but it was really the Kings and Oilers game that more specifically, Neil was freaking out about.
Well, because in the other room we had like the small TV and then the big TV doing both games, and like I kept apologizing to Kyle and Bailey about giving updates on the game that wasn't ours, but they were like, "No, just keep it going," because every 2 seconds something else was happening.
You're like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what's happening?"
The best part was Kyle was behind.
Honest, though, so I don't mean to cut you off, Neil. I'm sorry. If I'm being honest, that was probably the best game of that entire evening, in my opinion.
100% it was.
I mean,
well,
the Avs Stars game was good. Went to overtime.
The end of that game.
Yes,
the end of that game, yes, it was.
True, yes.
But the totality, I think, of the Stars and Avalanche game was pretty good.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Yeah.
Man,
Jimmy,
would you like to do? Would you like to do play-by-play for this period, or you want me to do it? You want me to keep going? Up to you.
This is your team, my boy. You go at it. I'm just gonna take it easy tonight. This is all you.
Oh, aren't you nice to me? I thought I was the one taking it.
Listen, man, I've done enough play-by-play all year.
Oh, okay.
I might do it. I might do it for a future playoff stream. Stay tuned for an announcement on there. I might do something later on in the year, but tonight is all you, man. You go for it.
Jimmy, you should stay up and do the game at 11. do Golden Knights. Do the Golden Knights.
You wouldn't be in bed till like 2 a.m.
I would actually stop. I would hate
if
that.
I didn't have to be up at 5:30, I would love to.
That's fair.
Yeah. That's just me.
But we are just about ready to get underway here in our second period of this game between the Devils and Hurricanes. Devils again up 1-0 heading into the second period thanks to a goal from Jesper Bratt. The Devils outshot the Hurricanes 9-6. Hurricanes had 2 power plays and 2 different breakaways, but could not cash in on any of them. And again, this much better game so far if you're New Jersey. But as Kyle mentioned before, good but not satisfied. A lot of hockey left to go in this one.
Yeah.
And Jimmy, what are your predictions for the rest of this one here so far?
I think the Devils bounce back. I'm going to say, I know it seems a little bit tight right now. I know it's only 1-0, but I think it's going to open up as the game goes on. I'm going to say 5-3 Devils take it. Yeah, I get it. I get it. They don't have Jack Hughes, but something tells me that with the way they played last night, that left a really bad taste in their mouth. And you saw Jesper Bratt get them on the board less than 4 minutes in. That's the start that you want if you're the Devils squad. Without Jack Hughes, that's massive. Jack Hughes is a major part of this team. And for them to go out and have the start that they did tonight, that speaks volumes, and I think that's going to carry over into the rest of this game. Yeah, Carolina's going to get their comeuppance, but you know what? I'm going to say 5-3. Devils tie this series coming back to Jersey.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Little, kind of a ballsy call considering it's only 1-0 as the second period is just underway, but I like it. Luke Hughes also, again, is out tonight for the Devils with an injury. Brendan Dillon is out tonight as well from an injury he sustained in Game 1. And again, Dustin Chowalski, I'm going to say his name wrong until Chowalski and Shimon Nemec are both in for those injured players. As now the Hurricanes with an opportunity right away, and that pass gets broken up. It's taken away by Andre Palat up the center of the ice to Hischier. Hischier now flips it over to Timo Meier. Meier with a turnaround shot that just goes wide of the goal mouth of Anderson, and now Stankoven comes the other way for Carolina. He drops it off to Martinook. Martinook flips it to Slavin. That pass comes out in front, but Markstrom makes the save. That bounced off the stick of Jordan Staal, but Markstrom stayed square at the puck, makes the save, and keeps the
hell of a save by Markstrom there early.
I'll also be right back. I got to go to the bathroom.
Have fun.
Well, I know you guys didn't really need to know that, but you know,
anyone on the stream
you said it, not me.
He didn't need to know. So Kyle will be back in a few minutes or hours, depending. Who knows how long it'll take? But yeah. So again, early start, early opportunity there for the Hurricanes. Jordan Staal, 148 career playoff games, 36 goals, 34 assists. Did win a Stanley Cup, if you could believe this, Jimmy, all the way back as a rookie in 2009 with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
That literally seems like so long ago, but with the way time has flown, man, oh man, it really makes you think, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We got Chalky here saying, I think this season the Stanley Cup could go to anyone. There's so many close games. I wouldn't say anyone. You know, if you had to ask me who my top 3 contenders are for the Cup this year, I would definitely say Florida's up there, despite not having Matthew Tkachuk. I think they're still going to be a problem. Mm-hmm. Colorado, they got Landeskog back. That's huge. Although it's going to take him some time to readjust his first couple of games in the pros in quite a while. And despite not having Miro Heiskanen, I think Dallas is going to be a problem too. I think Dallas has a goaltending edge. Their offense has been prolific all year. And I get it. They've been struggling going into these playoffs like New Jersey has. But Dallas is up there, Colorado's up there, and you want to throw in Vegas? I'll give you Vegas as well, but those are my top 3 as of right now, and with Florida being a problem too.
Icing here against the Hurricanes, or actually, no, I thought there was icing, but they waved it off, so we keep playing here.
Okay.
About 2 minutes into this second period, Devils look to try to get into the offensive zone. Jesper Bratt with the puck has the lone goal. Puck bounces over to the other side of the boards where Brian Dumoulin will go back and play it here for New Jersey as he'll get it over to the right side to Kovacevic. That pass off the boards and it goes all the way down. It'll be an icing here against the Devils. 2:08 into the second period. And again, there is Jacob Markstrom, who had a strong game number 1, despite giving up 3 goals. The fourth one was an empty netter. Really didn't have the world's greatest amount of support. Tonight, a little bit better defensively. Canes did just get to 10 shots on goal. But nonetheless, the Devils still need him to be rock solid for as much as possible here if they want to have any chance to win this game and win this series, as that shot goes all the way around to the other side and out, and the Canes will have to clear it.
Yeah, one thing I want to pay attention to with the Devils here tonight, Neil, is you mentioned it, their defense. With the way they played in game 1, I didn't watch that full game, but I did watch the first and second period. They looked flat from the get-go. They looked like a team that didn't really want to be out there. They looked unmotivated, undisciplined, and that's not the way you want to go into the Stanley Cup playoffs against a division rival, mind you, who always seems to have your number every single time you play them in the postseason. So this year, you want to send a strong message, and so far in this game too, they're sending a clear message, but hopefully the Devils can keep this up.
So a shot there, and oh my goodness, what a save for the rebound, and they score! Shane Gostisbehere goes top shelf, beats Markstrom, and the Hurricanes have tied it up at 1 here, less than 3 minutes into the second period.
Well, as soon as I say that, the Canes tie the game. Go me.
There you go.
Oh, no, listen.
Great save there by Jacob Markstrom on the original shot by Shane Gostisbehere, but unfortunately, he was down, couldn't make the save on the rebound. And look, Gostisbehere went about as top shelf as he could to get that shot. And the Hurricanes, unsurprisingly, find the back of the net and tie it up at 1.
How good has Gostisbehere been for Carolina? Ever since he got traded over there, he has been such a great addition to that defense for Carolina. He's become a good two-way defensive player.
He has played in his entire career. He's been much better as a Cane. This is second go around with the Canes than anywhere else that he's played. Honestly, it just works out very well for him as that puck gets loose and it ends up not in the back of the net.
Oh, come on.
The ref says no goal, and the Hurricanes almost just took the lead on a weird bounce. The refs are discussing it. We will see what they decide to call. The original call on the ice was no goal, or no call at all, because I don't think the refs saw it. I'll see it again on the replay as that puck bounced, and oh my goodness, that nearly went in.
Wow.
Actually, it stayed on the line, but never went in.
Oh my God.
Wolf.
Wow.
I think I know it's early in the second period, but if you're Sheldon Keefe, you may have to call a timeout here.
I was gonna say now might be a good time.
What a job by Brett Pesce there at the last second to sweep that puck into Markstrom. And look, again, Jimmy, the call on the ice is no goal. So this would have to be conclusive evidence to overturn this call, which I don't think there's enough to overturn this. As we'll see it again on the high replay. Yeah, that puck never completely crosses the line. So that
there's not enough evidence to overturn it. It clearly didn't cross the line. And you mentioned it, Brett Pesce doing a terrific job to get that underneath Markstrom's left leg as he was able to fall on top of it as Brett Pesce was helping out his goaltender. That's just a terrific effort, but I expect this call to stand as a no goal, and we will still be tied at 1 apiece.
And you are correct. The call on the ice was confirmed no goal. So the Devils get away with one, but they have certainly not played at the same level that they played in the first period. Hurricanes have come back with a vicious push. They just tied the game moments ago thanks to a goal from Shane Gostisbehere, and then nearly just got the lead. But now they have the puck again. Brent Burns with a shot that gets blocked to the left corner. Hurricanes still with some good forechecking pressure here. Devils got to find a way to get it out, and Palat will flip it out of the zone here where the Hurricanes will go back and reset up. As now that puck comes out to center ice and back into the Devils zone, intercepted by Jordan Staal. Now to Stankoven, feeds it in front, but couldn't get it to his teammate, and Hischier one-hands it out of the zone. And both teams will make a change here as the Canes will go back just about 4 minutes into the second period. Game tied at 1 now, thanks to the most recent goal from Shane Gostisbehere, his 4th career playoff goal, but his first of this year, as Justin Blake with the lone assist on that goal. So that puck is loose at center ice and goes back again into the Hurricane zone. And Chatfield whiffs on that pass. Got to be careful there, as that nearly turned into a disaster. Puck dumped in back into the right corner by the Devils. And now both teams again will look to reset. As Orlov on the left side now, pass it off the boards, but Shimon Nemec will get to it first, and he'll dump it out. And then the Hurricanes get to it, and they'll dump it in as both teams. That puck bounces weirdly, but Dumoulin's able to control it for a moment. Nemec one-hands it up the boards. Is able to get it over to Justin Dowling, who will flip it into the left side. No icing here, so we will play on. But right now, the Hurricanes are making that push that has kind of been expected. Shots now 12-9 in favor of Carolina. So things, I guess for most people, have kind of gone a little bit more back to what we had expected. But, again, the Devils got to find a way to calm this down here, because this push is an issue. I mean, they haven't really generated much. As now Jarvis with the puck. Jarvis spins around one defender, feeds it over to Brent Burns. Burns drops to Aho. Aho now over the left side, now to Slavin, now to Burns, feeds it in front, but it gets broken up. Puck is loose. Both guys racing for it. Jesper Bratt trying to get there, but Slavin gets there first and dumps it back into the zone. And then Pesce with a big long flip. Jesper Bratt trying to get around Slavin. He stops, waits, feeds it over now to Dumoulin, now to Cody Glass, the backhand, that's stopped. Rebound is loose. Puck is still loose and finally touched up. But we have a penalty here, and it's against Carolina. So the Devils will get their first crack at the power play here, now with the game tied.
That's going to be a big power play opportunity as we welcome back Mr. Kyle Manifold. This is going to be a big power play opportunity for the Devils here. I know it's early, it's only the first chance, but you really want to send a message to this Carolina team. You got to do something on this power play. At least look good. Look, you got to score, but you got to send them a message, hey, we're not going to mess around here. Special teams are going to be big for the Devils here in this series.
Without question. The Devils had one power play in the entirety of game number 1, did not score in it. Devils had the 3rd best power play in the NHL throughout the year, but the Hurricanes had the best penalty kill in the NHL. So this is definitely a really big matchup. Sebastian Aho was the one that went to the box, a 2-minute hooking call. So now we'll see what can happen here on the Devils' first power play of the night.
Yeah.
Face off to the right of Freddie Anderson in the Carolina zone. Face off one here they're both kind of scrambling for it. Puck is still loose on the face-off dot, still trying to get to it. And Carolina's the one that comes out with it. They might have an on-man rush coming the other way. Here comes Jordan Martinook in with a shot, and he scores! Jordan Martinook short-handed, and the Hurricanes have taken the lead. It's 2-1 Carolina.
Not Jimmy going on his speech, and then all of a sudden they go shorthanded and score.
That's the second time that Jimmy's gone on a speech that resulted in a Carolina goal. So I think
maybe I should just leave the stream, because clearly I'm a jinx. But
I think that might be the move.
No,
but just a situation where the Hurricanes come back the other way. It's just an odd man rush, and Martinook going top shelf off the post and in. And just a disaster of a second period here. For as good as the Devils were in period 1, the Hurricanes have been that much better in period 2.
Yeah, that's not the ideal situation. As Danelle's in the chat. What's up, Danelle? Good to see you, my man. But that is not the ideal situation, and I just saw the replay here. Off the post and in, just an unfortunate break for Jacob Markstrom. Not the ideal situation for the Devils on the power play. I said special teams was going to be a major factor, and sure enough, Carolina takes advantage, a shorthanded goal, and they have the lead for the first time tonight.
It's a great shot.
It was a great shot. I mean, not much you could do there if you're Jacob Markstrom. You're in pretty decent position, but just a better shot if you're Jordan Martinook. And it's been a really bad second period so far for the Devils. We're not even like halfway through it, and they've given up 2 goals, and they've already given up a shorthanded chance, and Hurricanes just cleared it here on the Devils power play. And again, you got to find a way to settle it here, because now the crowd's into it. Now they got the lead. Got to find a way to tie this one up here and silence this crowd as Timo Meier comes into the zone, looks to try to set up. Timo Meier in the right corner tries to get it to the top of the point. Puck is loose, but the Devils get to it. Meier beats over to Hischier with a shot. That one gets fought off. Anderson, that puck comes out in front. Devils still with it now. Nason now over to Brett. Dougie Hamilton with a drive. That gets blocked. And now the Hurricanes look to come the other way again. Might have a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Here they come. Feed it over to Jarvis, and that one gets broken up before it reached the net. Devils now look to try to come the other way with numbers. Jesper Bratt slowly makes his way up the left side here. Feeds it over now to Meier. Now to Dougie Hamilton. Takes a sharp angle shot. That is stopped and covered by Anderson. And then a little pushing and shoving on Stefan Nason as 4 different Hurricanes are ganging up on Stefan Nason, their former teammate. And again, this bad blood between these two teams continues.
No love lost between these two teams. Am I right, Kyle?
The fisticuffs breaking out.
Fisticuffs indeed.
My goodness. But Hurricanes certainly sending a strong statement here in this second period. They clearly have been the more aggressive team. They've been applying a lot more offensive pressure. We're kind of seeing, Neil, we're kind of seeing the same Devils team that we saw in game 1 in the second period, and that's not a good thing.
Both teams have sent someone to the penalty box. Chatfield in the box for Carolina, Timo Meier in the box for the Devils. So I think it's still 5-on-4.
Wow.
It's still a Devils power play, but they decided to call offsetting minors on both teams.
Alrighty.
Wow, that's interesting. Looks like coincidental.
Chatfield just wouldn't. He just kept chirping. Chatfield just wouldn't be quiet.
Yeah.
He just kept going
hate the Hurricanes,
and
but
going.
Their fans always complain when they don't get a call. I've seen it with local teams in the playoffs, but the Devils, Islanders, or Rangers playing them.
Yes.
I don't follow the Hurricanes as much as anybody else, like the guys at the Surgecast, obviously, so I don't know how their fans are. I know the Surgecast guys are cool people. I like them. But, Danelle, obviously, you have more experience than me, so you clearly could have a better answer for that than I do.
Devils' second power play unit out right now with 25 seconds to go on their first man advantage of the night. Hurricanes just took the lead on a shorthanded goal from Jordan Martinook, and the puck comes all the way back into the Devils' zone. And they'll have one last rush here if they hurry with 10 seconds to go. As Shimo Nemec up the right side, he'll dump it in, and it hits off of a broken stick. Kind of works out for the Devils as they keep it in. Palat wraps on the boards. Power play is up for the Devils. As now Nemec over to Andre Palat. Palat now to Mercer with a drive. That one gets blocked. Puck is loose, and it goes back down into the Devils' zone. Nemec fighting along with Svechnikov, and Nemec wins that battle. But there was a goal that happened on that power play. It just wasn't for New Jersey. It was a shorthanded goal by Jordan Martinook, and we have a 2-1 Hurricanes lead here with 11:50 to go in this second period. Is now Bastion with a solid hit along the boards. Paul Cotter trying to keep it in for New Jersey on the forecheck. Cotter gets to it again, but then loses it again, and Svechnikov will backhand it out. So, yeah, I mean, look, I think you kind of expected a bigger push as Kovacevic falls down. That puck comes out in front, but nobody home. But you expected a bigger push from Carolina in the second period, and they've been rewarded for it so far.
We got a nice Canes fan here in the chat too, by the way. Charles.
What's up, Charles? How's it going?
What's going on? What's happening?
What is happening? Thank you for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. As now Devils look to try to get it out of the zone here. Paul Cotter will get it out. He flips it over to Justin Dowling, who's just out of his reach. Dowling will dump it around.
Yeah, just to respond to Tinel's comment here quick. I actually got that news at work today, so I couldn't put out my my tweet until my my lunch break at work. But yeah, that's something that needed to happen, but something I wasn't expecting to, because the Islanders would not let him go for some reason. So I wasn't expecting it to happen, but hey, it had to be done, and we're doing well. Charles, how are you doing?
Good stuff.
Nice. Devils look to try to come the other way here, but it gets broken up for a moment. Devils need to wait to stay on sides as Nemec will just dump it in here as we're just about to reach the halfway point of this game. Devils struck first back in the first period on a goal from Jesper Bratt, but goals from Gostisbehere and Martinook shorthanded have given the Canes the 2-1 lead as we speak here. So Hurricanes definitely settling in here much better than they were in the first period. And for the Devils, it's the complete opposite. It's just the tale of two periods, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. By the way, for Shane Gostisbehere, his goal earlier was his third career playoff goal. And for Martinook, that was his eighth career playoff goal.
Thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy, are you also watching this on MSG?
I am.
That's what I thought. I had a feeling you were doing that.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you.
Thank you. That puck comes out of play. 9:46 to go in the second period. Hurricanes now with a 2-1 lead over the Devils.
What do I do for a job? I work at a grocery store called Wegmans. I know there are a couple in New York, actually. I know there's one in Brooklyn. There's one in Manhattan. So if there's anyone around you, you should go visit one.
He's a secret agent.
He's actually a secret agent that works at Wegmans.
Excited for these playoffs, as are we.
Are we.
Unfortunately, Kyle, our teams aren't in it, but you know what? I'm still really excited. I'm actually curious to know if somebody can dethrone Florida. I think Florida's going to repeat. Yes. I'm going to say it right here and now. Kachuk's going to come back eventually. I know he's not here now, but Florida's still going to be a massive problem until proven otherwise. That's just me.
Big words there, Jimmy. Big words.
Kyle and I both disagree with that.
Oh, okay.
Well, no. I have Florida going to the final in your bracket challenge.
Oh, you do? Oh,
we did a live stream, but we did a live stream and you picked Tampa.
No, I picked Florida to win.
You picked Florida, and how many did you pick? Florida in 7?
I did Florida in 7. Yeah, Florida.
For the Florida Tampa series?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who did I have? I just did an episode on it with
Did
Jeff.
You pick Florida?
I had Florida in I had Florida in 5.
I had Montreal in 7.
Jeez, 5?
Yeah, I don't trust Tampa all that much. I'm sorry. I don't.
Doesn't trust Tampa. Okay.
I trust their goalie, but I don't trust the rest of their team.
What?
Yeah, you heard correctly.
Wow.
That is wild.
I thought my Montreal take was...
I said what I said.
Well, it's more outlandish. My Canadiens take or Jimmy's Panthers?
No, Jimmy's Panthers take.
What did you say?
I got Canadiens in 7.
Damn right he does.
Honestly, I could see that going 7.
But you could also see Tampa getting bounced in 5?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not steering away from that.
Okay. Just wait till Seth Jones gets absolutely burned.
MSG.
But
no, Kyle, I have Caps in 6 for that series.
Okay.
Okay. Fair enough.
Panthers have played a lot of hockey. They can't get to the finals for a third straight year. Interesting take. Okay. I think
I'd like to see them try.
They could damn well try.
They can try.
I'd love to see an 06 final ending the same. Oh, you want to see a rematch of 06? Oh boy.
Wow. There's no mercy with a try, and that one gets stopped and covered by Freddie Anderson on a good feed from Bratt. The Devils look to tie it up.
Freddie.
Everyone says brat, which really irritates me because it's not.
Just brat. Oh my goodness.
Freddie.
Yeah, everybody. I keep saying just for Bratt to people, and people still want to say brat.
By the way, Neil, a little something for you, as I know we got a game going on here, but do you know what happened on this day in Devils history in 1988?
Yes, because Kyle and I literally talked about it earlier.
We did.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay. I wasn't listening back then. I apologize, but yes.
No, you're good. You're good. Do you want me to answer that anyway?
You may answer it if you want. There are new people that might be tuning in, so they may not know.
If you want.
Patrick Sundstrom had a 5-point game in a playoff game against the Capitals.
8-point game.
8-point game. It was a lot.
A hat trick and 5 assists, and one of the greatest.
Well, that's where I got the 5 from.
The 5 assists.
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah, it was insane.
It's actually insane. It's Timo Meier with a shot that gets fouled off. Rebound try. That puck comes out in front loose. Puck is still loose. Kovacevic with a shot. Anderson is down in his crease. Devils still went off the bank there, and it goes all the way back down. And the Devils will have to reset. Oh, my goodness.
How in the world
golden opportunity for the Devils, but they could not cash in there and try to tie this game as Stankoven in the right corner now for Carolina. Dowling chips it up the boards. Devils trying to get it out here. Both teams still whacking at it, and it gets back into the New Jersey zone where Carrier's fighting along with Kovacevic. Now Roslovic will dump it around the boards to the other side. Gets it over to Robinson. Dumoulin backhands it over to Dowling, and now the Devils will look to come the other way as Dowling will just lightly flip it into the left quarter of Carolina's zone. Tatar and Walker fighting along with it now. Puck comes up the boards here, and now the Canes will control it the other way. Gostisbehere up the center of the ice, loses the puck, and Chwalski will just dump it back down, and it won't be enough for an icing, so Walker will control it here. But moments ago, guys, a golden opportunity for the Devils, but they just couldn't get one past Anderson there.
I just saw a guy.
How in the world do you not convert there? Wow.
I just saw a guy in the stands where he's got a Rob Brendamore number 69 jersey. Like, sit down and throw that in the trash.
Don't just like
really.
You're not
Seriously?
funny. If you think you're funny, you're not
funny. The only person that's allowed to do that is Shorzy. That's it. One guy.
Well, no. Dougie Glack can do that.
Okay, Glack. Sorry, two guys can do that. That's about it.
Two guys can do that.
Nobody else can.
Stoppage of play here with 7:16 to go in the second. Carolina up 2-1 here in Game 2.
NHL
Didn't we
thinking of
answer
like
this on
teams wearing white jerseys at home.
We did.
I like that.
Let Jimmy answer it. What do you mean by 69, Kyle? What do you mean?
Oh my god, Danelle, come on, man.
Guys, we're not doing that. We're not doing it.
Used to answer that.
We're not going there. But as far as this, I mean, they did it back in the 80s and 90s, and back in the early days of the NHL. I wouldn't mind seeing that again. I'd have no problem.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Yep. Me neither.
Yeah, I'd see it. I'd be down for it. The only problem is that if you're like a team like Carolina, and obviously the black jerseys that they wear are great, it's like then you wouldn't be allowed to wear them at home.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. I think we've just but we've also come to an era where it's changed. Like, we're not the NBA in the sense that they wear white jerseys too, right? Like, we don't we don't do that.
We're not the NBA. We're more entertaining than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Please don't. Eric?
Eric's like,
I'll keep you all updated. All right, cool.
Well,
no,
RJ,
I'm good.
And RJ will also keep us updated. There you go.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
No.
Not bringing that one up.
Bringing it up.
Yeah, so Danelle, we love you, but that's not a discussion for FCC airwaves.
13 conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. We love you, but that's a private conversation.
Ooh. They just showed on the replay here that mad scramble just moments ago the Devils had. Great play by Brent Burns to lift the stick of Andre Palat as Palat was crashing out, looking to try to get that one past Freddie Anderson. I don't know if it would have gone in anyway. Anderson seemed to be in pretty decent position, but still a great defensive play there by the veteran defenseman.
Yeah, I like it when they do. Oh, the Whalers, yes.
Whalers night is always a great night in Carolina.
Whalers back then.
I like the Whalers jerseys.
Do the Whalers need to come back?
No.
Nah.
Everyone's just like, nah. The jersey can stay.
The jersey you can do like once or twice a year. I
already have enough teams in the area.
Back.
Yeah.
You already have enough teams in that area anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I think they've been talking about Houston being the next one.
That's fine. Jesper Bratt gets hit up high with a stick.
Oh.
And that could be 4 if he's not careful. It's going to be Blake. He didn't mean to do it. He tried to knock the puck out of midair. And Jesper Bratt, he appears to be okay, but definitely checking himself. And so, big opportunity here. If you're the Devils, you go back to the power play, down a goal now. And now we'll see how long that power play is. Yeah, like Blake whacked his stick. Whacked it out of midair and just got Bratt very good.
Yeah. Ouch. That's not
good. That's not fun. It's
not fun at all.
That's tape and wood in your mouth. And it's a 2-minute minus. So it's just 2. That's just fair. I didn't see blood personally. So
not one of the Canes guys going up to like block him from showing like how much blood, if there was
Literally.
any.
It's like, nah.
Literally.
No, you can't go check.
Devils begin their second. No, they don't begin their second power play because the ref faked this all out again.
By the way, coming up in an hour from now, Panthers and Lightning kick off their series, Game 1 tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. That game is in Tampa. That game will be on ESPN for those that are interested. And then you have Vegas playing Minnesota in Game 2 of their series tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern. Vegas up 1-0.
Puck goes out of play as Heister tried to feed it over to Bratt. Face off back in the Carolina zone. 154 remaining on the power play. And a little reminder for everybody, game number 3 of this series between the Devils and Hurricanes will be Friday night in New Jersey, 8 p.m. Eastern. Game number 4 will be in New Jersey at 3:30 p.m. Eastern next Sunday, this upcoming Sunday. So that's the schedule moving forward for this series. Is now the Devils are back in their own zone. 2-minute high sticking call against Jason Blake of Carolina. And so now we'll see if the Devils can do something here. Gave up a shorthanded goal, which right now is the go-ahead goal for Carolina. But here comes Jesper Bratt into the zone. He tried to set it up. Nobody was there. Devils had 2 shots on their first power play here, looking to see if they can cash in here. As now Bratt comes into the zone, tries to dump it off to Heister. Heister loses it, and the Canes get to it again and clear. As the Devils continue to struggle to really just enter the zone, which, again, this proves just how great this penalty kill is for Carolina and how great it's been all year. As now Heister gets into the zone. Heister now in the left corner, sets it up, gets it top of the point to Timo Meier. Now over to Heister left side. Back to Meier, top of the point now to Shimon Nemec. Left side now to Timo Meier. Now to Nemec with it. Nemec holds, still with it, flips it now to Bratt. Now over, a turnaround shot by Heister, stopped, rebound try gets snuffed out. Heister gets the puck now back in the left side, in the right side. Tries to make a feed over, gets broken up. Hurricanes might have a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Here they come. Orlov drops it off. Back to Orlov, but a great diving play by Heister. Now a pounce out in front and nobody home. Devils now look to try to come the other way. Might have numbers, but Heister overskated the puck. And the Hurricanes now back into the zone shorthanded, but it is offsides with 21 seconds to go. As Nason, I don't know what happened there, but the refs are talking to Nason, but nonetheless.
We got Cameron in here saying, not trying to be a negative fan, but I feel like that's the story of the Devils, is having a lot of good chances, but have a hard time doing anything with chances. I pray that I'm wrong.
See, that's not negative, Cameron. That's just an observation. That's just a very good observation. The Devils have been struggling since the better part of late December with depth scoring and being consistent. They've been They've been consistently inconsistent. And that was even before they lost the likes of Jack Hughes and then Jonas Siegenthaler and even Dougie Hamilton for a while. It's just they lack a little bit extra at times, and you know that's kind of the frustrating part of it. As now Pesce with the puck takes a shot, gets blocked. Power play is up for New Jersey, so they do not cash in. They are 0 for 2. Blake comes out of the box, tries to make a cross pass feed, but it gets broken up. Palat now fighting along with Blake. Blake wins that battle, gets it to Kotkaniemi. He loses the puck. Puck is loose again, controlled by Walker of Carolina. Over to Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere stops, still with it now. Gostisbehere over there, and a shot by Kotkaniemi, and his stick broke. And Tatar will get to it and flip it out.
Ouch.
That's right there. If you're Kotkaniemi, had a great chance.
That's brutal. Hurricanes have a jersey problem. They wear 3 or 4 different jerseys, and they don't even match. They have an identity
crisis. That means they have 3 or 4 good jerseys. That's what it means.
I was gonna say. Oh, man.
Next shot stopped there. Rebound, trying a great diving play. Another opportunity, and it gets blocked. Hurricanes pressuring the Devils clear. I don't know who made that diving play in front, but Markstrom was well out of position. Now the Devils have it. Downey with a shot. Stop, rebound, try. Connor's still with it now. Over to Brian Dumoulin. Dumoulin stops. Still with it now. Feeds it over to Kovacevic with a shot that gets blocked. Puck is loose. It comes out of the zone, and the Canes clear, and that will be enough for an icing here. And Kovacevic is asking for a replay of something, or too many men on the. I think it actually might be too many men. There's a lot of confusion here, people. A lot just happened in 30 seconds. As I got to look on the replay here. And again, Brett Pesce for the second time makes a diving play, and then he blocked the shot while he was down on his chest. Oh, if that's not playoff hockey mentality, I don't know what is.
That's amazing.
Goodness gracious.
My goodness, the former Hurricane denying his former team twice of a goal. And then we're seeing here on a replay, I have no idea what they're looking for or what Kovacevic was calling for. I don't think anything happened.
They're showing Gostisbehere hurt on the bench, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, is he hurt?
Yeah,
Kovacevic did this, and I don't know what he was asking. I don't know what he was looking for, but Nemec with a shot that goes wide. Mercer with the puck.
Was he looking for a penalty?
I don't know. Maybe too many men. It's a turnaround shot there by Mercer is stopped and covered by Anderson. If you could believe this guy, actually, this may not be that of a surprise. Shots are right now, I think, even at 14 aside.
Nah, that's no surprise there. Do you guys know Jack and Luke's brother Quinn wants to play with his brothers? I did hear about that. And
that's the most obvious thing I've ever heard in my life.
I was going to say. But yes, we did hear about that. As we got a Devil fan in the house for you, Neil. What's going on? How are you? Nice to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Megatron live.
My Gagatron lives. I love that name. Good to see you. Hope all is well.
This is definitely a lot different of a game than game one. I think it's a lot more even in terms of just opportunities. Obviously, so far, the difference is a shorthanded goal by Jordan Martinook, but both teams have had grade A opportunities to score, and that puck is loose a lot in this game. It is like right there, and both teams making great defensive plays to keep the puck out of the net, which again shows you just how much playoff hockey means to these guys.
Especially in the second period.
A couple of weird bounces, too, by the puck. Sorry, Kyle, go ahead.
No, you're good. I was going to say just more in the second period. I found more than we were watching the first there, Neil. It's been very loosey-goosey.
Very. Ice is slippery.
The sum of tonight's game, ice is slippery.
It's always.
So, who said that Saturday? I think it was Bailey, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, geez. Bailey said the ice was slippery. And then she refused to say it. And then she refused to say it last night.
Oh, goodness.
Because she was like, "Oh." But yeah, I mean, if you're okay, please don't dab. No, please stop. That actually hurt my soul.
Oh no.
It's 2025.
Great.
New Jersey Devils, only playoff team with two goalies who each have 20 plus games of postseason experience. That's Jacob Markstrom and Jake Allen. So the Devils, in terms of experience, have a lot of that between the pipes. I wish I could say the same about the rest of the team.
To you, Neil.
I wish we would have given Casey a chance to play. I know they say his defense isn't there yet, but I think he's got a lot on the offense side to make up for Luke being out. What is your opinion? I am totally fine with Casey not playing. He is incredibly undersized as a defenseman, not even being 6 foot, and he's not even 200 pounds. I got to be honest with you, he would probably have gotten his you-know-what rocked at some point in this game. He does bring that offensive ability, but he gets cooked a lot defensively. So that's kind of one of the things, and it doesn't get noticed enough. I'm not saying that Casey's a bad defenseman. He's a rookie who needs to work on his game, and he'll get better over time. I just don't think that the time is now to throw him into the wolves. That's just my opinion.
Makes sense.
Icing here against I think it was icing. Icing here
play the game. Play the game.
242.
Unfortunately for me, Danelle, I couldn't get into The Last of Us. I don't really watch shows like that. Although I do watch Law and Order, so I shouldn't really be saying that. But still, The Last of Us, that's not really my style.
That's a great show, though.
Oh, what, Law and Order? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Law and Order SVU is the only way to watch it.
100%. Yes, I'm with you. 100%.
Face off here at center ice, and that puck goes back into the Carolina zone here with about 2.5 minutes to go. The second period, yes, that is me.
Yes.
No, it's not. No, he's an imposter.
It's actually not. As that puck up in the air, Devils right now trying to put on some pressure here to now Timo Meier, and Palat falls down, and then so does Timo Meier. Both of them fell on their own accord. And now that puck comes out. Here come the Hurricanes, 2-on-1. Drive there by Jordan Stahl, and a great save there by Markstrom, denying Stahl of doubling the Canes' lead.
That's a big save.
Huge save.
Big time save. I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but that's like the third or fourth odd man rush that the Canes have had in this second period.
Yeah, that's just poor defensive. That's just a bad defensive breakdown. You can't keep giving up too many odd man rushes, especially to this potent Carolina team. You can't do it.
No. You're right. I think a lot of it comes from the Devils are certainly taking some chances here, trying to generate offense, and unfortunately, that's one of those kind of risks that you take, right? And even when you don't have all of your top defensemen out there, it's still a risk nonetheless. As the Canes right now controlling it in the offensive zone, Waits takes a shot through traffic, puck is loose again, but Dougie Hamilton clears, and it goes all the way down, and it will be enough for an icing here with 1:51 to go in this slow-moving second period. It's only 7:40, Ka. How you feeling?
I'm not doing 100% right now.
Oh, jeez.
I'm struggling heavily right now.
Well, if you need to bounce, you're more you can. No one will judge.
I might go to the second intermission and then go take a Pepto-Bismol or something.
No.
Yeah, not doing the best right now, folks.
All right.
Sorry to hear, dude.
We hope you feel better as soon as possible.
It's been a day. It's been a day.
Yeah.
That shot through traffic gets stopped by Markstrom, and the Devils clear it out again. It'll go down, but not enough for an icing. Nate Bastian wins that race. Tatar, what a feed! Backhand try and a great save by Anderson on a backhand try by Justin Dowling. What a feed there, but he couldn't convert. Shot there by the Canes gets stopped by Markstrom, as now the Devils will settle it down a little bit as Dumoulin passes it all the way around to the other side to Dowling. And MSG just had a brain fart for
oh boy.
Also,
having a brain fart.
Yeah.
You notice it too, Jimmy? It's not just me.
Oh no, I'm looking right along with you, my man. I see it.
Yeah, so I was definitely MSG. But what a feed from Tomas Tatar, and then Dowling trying to surprise Anderson backhanded, but Anderson makes the save. Wow. It's the fourth line of the Devils there creating a really good opportunity.
Unbelievable. Wow.
Of all the people to score,
you guys giving us a way to listen to the game. We appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you.
We appreciate everybody hanging out with us here on this Tuesday night here in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Always our favorite time of the year, as that puck will go down for an icing here against the Devils with 64 seconds to go in this second period.
I forgot to tell you, I got my DVD copy of Sonic 3. Watched it Thursday on my PS5. Pretty good, dark movie knowing the history of Shot. That was the point, but I'm really glad you enjoyed it. Again, it's my favorite
Spoiler alert
so far.
Spoiler.
What'd you say?
They all die.
Spoiler, jeez.
They all die.
They all just die.
No. That's not how it goes.
Oh, boo.
That's not how it goes.
You're like one of the Avengers movies where it ends on such a sad note and everyone leaves upset.
Pretty sure there's another Avengers movie coming out next week.
Well, I'm not going to say it here.
No, say it. Say the thing.
No, there are people who haven't seen the movie that don't want to be spoiled. I'm not going to be that guy tonight.
Which movie?
Sonic 3.
Every movie.
Every movie.
Every movie ever made. As Nemec makes a feed over to Tatar. Tatar backhands it out of the zone. It'll go all the way down. And guess what, people? Yet another icing with 41.7 to go in this second period.
Too many icings, man.
I'm going to go see the Minecraft movie.
Oh, gosh.
I'm going to go experience lava chicken and chicken.
You're going to get yourself kicked out of the theater?
No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing this stupid trend that I see where everybody just goes absolutely ape.
It's the children.
Yeah,
thank you. Children.
It's not the children. It's not children. It's like people in high school. The backhand try there is stopped by Markstrom. Okay, sure. Why not? As Bastian gets knocked down, it looked like a trip, but no. And then another big hit there. Devils' fourth line still on the ice here, trying to just make a change, and they will with 20 seconds to go in the period. Long feed there gets broken up. Brian Dumoulin bakes that off the boards over to Nico Hischier, just out of the reach of Bratt. And a good, solid hit there from Timo Meier at center ice. That puck comes back out into the Devils' zone. Pesce will get to it. He'll stop, turn around, and he'll just let the clock run out with 3 seconds, 2 and 1, and that will do it for the second period of action. Not before Timo Meier and Brent Burns get into some fisticuffs. And Nico with a push on Blake. Dumoulin then pushes Blake for the fun of it. everyone's just pushing and shoving. They all just want to hug.
Everybody hug.
Everybody love everybody.
Everybody hug.
It is 2-1 Carolina after 40. So both goals for the Hurricanes were scored, not one. And Markstrom with some choice words for the ref too. He's not happy.
Of course he does. Of course he does.
I don't know what I missed.
Shut your mouth, Markstrom.
Whoa, wait a minute. Brent Burns did a headbutt. With his helmet.
I didn't even see that.
That was crazy. But Carolina has the 2-1 lead. They were the much better team in that second period. Shane Gostisbehere tied it up. And then a little bit later on a shorthanded opportunity, Jordan Martinook with, honestly, a 10 out of 10 shot. Just beating Markstrom and giving the Canes a 2-1 lead. Gentlemen, thoughts after now 40 minutes of play?
Go ahead. No. You go ahead, Kyle.
All right. Okay. Yeah, no, not the way you wanted to come out there, obviously, in that second, but you're still sorry if you're New Jersey, but you're still finding a way to still be competitively in it. You kind of knew there was a response going to come here. And, again, you just got to keep avoiding these stupid things, even if it's like, Markstrom at the end there talking to the refs and, you say the wrong thing and all of a sudden, no, you're going to get 2 minutes, right? Like it's silly things like that can cost you. And you just got to make sure and you go in the locker room and tell yourselves like it's still a 1-goal game and it's still anybody's game. And, if you're Carolina, you kind of seize the opportunity a little bit to really put the nail on the coffin here a little bit, going back to New Jersey to try to be up 2-0.
The goaltending tonight by both teams has been superb. The goaltenders are literally keeping this a close game. No, I understand if you want to point to the lack of chances by New Jersey outside of the couple of scrums that they had a couple minutes ago. Okay, I can buy that. But I think the goaltending has been the bigger story here. The Devils had their chances. Anderson has stood tall. Markstrom has stood tall. It's been a goaltender's duel. And this is why I feel like it's going to end, despite my scoring prediction, I think this is going to end much closer than people think.
Not going to be 5-3, I don't think.
Definitely
4-3. It's all 4-3.
No way. By the way, Eric's saying Marner almost scored. He hit the post. Okay.
Good.
Just kidding.
Actually good.
The Until Dawn movie is out this Friday based on the I heard about that. And Thunderbolts Marvel movie's coming out too. I kind of want to see that. Is that bad to say? That actually looks kind of funny. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I know Marvel's kind of like meh lately, but Thunderbolts I'll see.
Nice.
Well, all right. We're going to take a little bit of a break and get you guys ready.
Just like that, Morgan Riley gives the Leafs the lead.
All right. We get it.
We get it.
Anyway, go ahead.
We don't care about that game.
Yes. We
actually don't care. But anyway, we're gonna step aside for a little bit, get you guys ready for the second intermission report. And we'll see you guys.
And I'm gonna go die.
And Kyle's are you officially done for the night?
Yeah, I gotta go take some.
So
we got you covered, Kyle.
All
right.
And
thanks, boys.
I will have to wait. I think I'll have to bring up the scoreboard myself now. I think.
Yep. Yahoo, go to Game Center. You got her. Yeah.
I'll take care of it.
I'm gonna go recover.
All right.
Feel better, Kyle.
All right. Thanks, boys. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.
Sounds good.
Okay.
So on that note, Jimmy, this looks weird.
There we go. Much better.
There we go. That just looked weird.
Better. There we go.
You look really weird.
It's just the two of us the rest of the way.
Yes, it will be both of us. But before we continue on, let's take a little bit of a break, get some water, get a little rest in, and we will see you guys for the second intermission report in just a moment.
Right here on.
Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time. Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time. Whether you're looking for courtside or upper deck, opening day or opening night, comedy or concerts. With Game Time Picks, we make buying tickets easy by serving up only the best deals on sports, music, and shows.
What time is it?
It's game time.
And welcome back, everybody, here to our second intermission report of our game between the New Jersey Devils and Carolina Hurricanes. Game 2 of this Eastern Conference first round matchup. Hurricanes have the 1-0 series lead, and after 40 minutes of play, Jimmy, the Hurricanes with 2 goals in that second period, thanks to Shane Gostisbehere, and then Jordan Martinook shorthanded, gave the Canes the lead that they have here going into the final 20 minutes. I know we talked about it before we got into our intermission. And by the way, again, Kyle has taken the rest of the night off. He's feeling a little bit under the weather, so we wish him all the best for the rest of the night. But Jimmy, again, your thoughts from both sides after 40 minutes of play.
Definitely the kind of period that you want if you're the Hurricanes. That gives you all the momentum going into the third period to take a not really a commanding 2-0 series lead. That'd be more like if it was up 3-0. But if you take a 2-0 series lead into New Jersey on Friday night, I think you got a good feeling in that locker room that you definitely have a chance to try and close it out. I'm not saying they're going to sweep New Jersey, because that's not going to happen. But you certainly have a confident feeling going into New Jersey to try and take a 3-0 lead if you can win tonight. So definitely a good period for Carolina. Want to finish up strong. And as far as the Devils, other than the shorthanded goal, I didn't think they were terrible, but they do need to be a lot better on the defensive side of the puck. They need to do a better job with blocking shots in front of the net. They actually helped Markstrom out a ton on a few of those scrambles that we saw earlier on in the period, where Brett Pesce was just an absolute animal. But other than that, I do want to see a little bit more aggressiveness. I feel like I haven't seen enough of it, other than the first period where Jesper Bratt gave them a 1-0 lead. And I didn't really see much aggressiveness in game 1 either. So I really want to see the Devils be more aggressive when it comes to the offensive side of things. You only scored 2 goals this entire series so far. That's not going to be good enough. You need to try and generate more. And look, I'm starting to see a little bit where you're trying to pass a little bit too much. Maybe that's just me with my eyeball test. Maybe I see it a lot with the Rangers. I'm seeing a little bit with the Devils here. But that needs to stop. Just try to get crisp, clean shots on net. Try to beat Anderson and go out there and tie the series.
Without question. And I think it's, I think if you look at if you're the Devils, right, you look at that second period and you say the entirety of the period wasn't terrible. But that first, couple of minutes, the first 5, 6, 7 minutes of that period was kind of the difference in that one. They really, really struggled to just get momentum, and the Canes came out and pushed. They pushed, and they took advantage of some opportunities and found the back of the net. And so now, if you're the Devils, you were able to make a push at the end there of that second half of that second period. You weren't able to score, but again, you're right in this game. This is a winnable game, and if you could come out with a strong third period, you could very well find yourself with an opportunity to tie this series up. If you're Carolina, I think it's fair to say that we might see them focus more on their defensive side going into this third. I don't want to say, quote unquote, park the bus, but I definitely can see them trying to focus a little bit more on just suffocating the Devils' offense, not allowing them to generate much, not allowing them to drive the puck into the zone, things like that. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see how both teams come out. This is an intense game. This has been a back and forth game in many ways, much more of an even game than game one was. And there's a big part in this game coming up. And either this series is going to be 2-0, or the Devils may find themselves with a chance to even this series up. I know it was mentioned before, but the Leafs do have a 1-0 lead early in the first period. And looks like it was John Tavares.
Oh, they gave it to Tavares. Oh, wow.
It looks like they gave it to John.
He must have been in front to deflect it then. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to see the goal, but that's who it was. Really quickly, just a little bit of a change to the Jesper Bratt goal. Instead of Dawson Mercer getting an assist, they gave it to Dougie Hamilton. So that was kind of the one. Okay. That was like basically like the only difference. But yeah, I mean, you mentioned it, Jimmy. The special teams was going to play a factor in this game. And
yes.
Look, the Hurricanes haven't had success in the power play, but they had a lot of success in the penalty kill. Not only have they killed off penalties, the go-ahead goal right now was shorthanded.
It almost kind of reminds me of the Hurricanes' lack of success on the power play. Go back to the series last year against the Rangers. They had like 50. They were like 0 for 15 or something on the power play going into that series against the Rangers. They were abysmal. That's not going to help you win game. And yet somehow, some way, they still pushed it to a 6-game series, and the Rangers ended up winning the series. So Carolina, I don't know what's wrong with their power play system. I don't know what Rod Brindamore needs to do. I still trust his coaching style. So I think he'll be able to get it fixed. But if Carolina wants a chance to make it to the conference final this year, at least that's how far I think they can go. That's just me. They need to fix their power play. Shorthanded situations, I think that's all well and good. But power play, that needs to be fixed ASAP. As we just see, the Leafs have taken a 2-0 lead, and it's John Tavares again, his second of the game, and it's 2-0 Leafs.
So the Leafs are off and running there in game number 2, looking to take a 2-0 series lead. Meanwhile, again, Hurricanes with the 2-1 lead going into the third. Again, if they win, they go up 2-0, halfway towards advancing to the second round. But if the Devils win, they tie the series up, steal the home ice advantage, and then head to New Jersey for games 3 and 4.
And by the way,
I need 1 second to just get my charger, so you can you can talk while I go get that. So.
Yeah, I just want to make a correction here on the first goal by the Leafs. It was indeed Morgan Riley's goal. That's his second of the playoffs. John Tavares did get an assist on that one at 3:44, and Tavares just scored on the power play, his second of the playoffs, assisted by Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews at 8:20. So Toronto is off and running with a 2-0 lead. Coming up later on tonight, we've got Panthers and Lightning kicking off their series at 8:30 p.m. That's game 1 tonight in Tampa. And then you have Minnesota taking on Vegas in game 2 of their series in Vegas. Vegas currently has a 1-0 series lead. And then you look at tomorrow's slate of games. Game 2, Montreal and Washington. The Caps lead that series 1-0. That game at 7 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Then game 3 between Dallas and Colorado. Series shifting to Denver. That series tied at a game apiece. That game at 9:30 Eastern tomorrow. And then you have game 2 of the Oilers and the Kings, which ended in a wild, wild way in game 1, which means the Kings have a 1-0 series lead. That is game 2 tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern. So a lot of crazy things happening in the Stanley Cup playoffs so far. And Neil, I feel like this is only the beginning of what's to come. This is what's great about playoff hockey. And you and I have talked about in the past. You always say hockey is a magical, unpredictable sport. You never know what can happen. You saw last night with the other night, I should say, with the Oilers coming all the way back, but still end up losing in overtime. That's just a heartbreaker right there. But that's the beauty of playoff hockey. There's going to be some heartbreak, but everyone loves the drama of sports, and we keep seeing it every year with the Stanley Cup playoffs, and that's the most exciting part.
Without question. I mean, you nailed it right on the head. And we're even in for a good game here between these two teams in this Metropolitan Division battle. It's a close game. It's basically what you expect. Neither team having a ton of shots on goal, but again, that's to be expected. Both teams' defensive play is going to just be a lot more, stronger. And I think that works out for both. Just wanted to read something really quickly here from Robert Aiken Jr., who covers the Devils for The Record Sports, which I believe I'm not mistaken used to be it's for The Record, which is an online newspaper that covers things in New Jersey. He said, the next 20 minutes might just define the mood at Prudential Center the rest of this week. Devils will have to at least draw this game even in the third. Couldn't hurt to avoid some of those headbutts that apparently didn't happen. They were referring to the Brent Burns incident at the end of that second period. But yeah, I think Robert brings up a very good point that for the Devils, this is a big period because you want to try to make one last push here. You're in this game. It's a winnable game. And who knows, man, if you could find a way to get a couple goals in this third and steal this game, it goes a long way. So big period coming up. There was no penalty called, by the way, Jimmy, in case you were wondering. There's nothing called on Brent Burns for that headbutt, although I feel like there should have been something.
There should have been a penalty.
But they didn't call it. So again, it's 5 aside, but we are just about ready to get underway in this third period. Jimmy, for both sides, what are you looking for?
Like I said before, with the Devils, I want to see more aggressiveness offensively. You mentioned it. It's a big period for them. And, you want to go back to Jersey, tie the series up, get the Jersey crowd into it when they come back home to Prudential Center for Game 3 on Friday night. You want to make sure that their fans are into it. So in order for you to do that, you want to make sure that you go out there and find an answer to this Carolina Hurricanes offense. And for that, you need to generate your own kind of offensive pressure. And as far as Carolina, you mentioned before about the defense. I'm not going to sit up here and say, like you said, they're not going to park the bus like you said before, but they're still going to be a very aggressive team. They're going to get more offensive chances. So if you're the Devils, you have to match Carolina's aggressiveness going into the third here.
Well said, Jimmy. Well said indeed. Third period has just gotten underway here as Martinook keeps the puck in for Carolina. Martinook still with the go-ahead goal that right now is the game winner. Again, it was that short-handed goal in the first couple minutes of that second period as we get a stoppage for a high stick. And so another stop here with 27 seconds in for it. Jimmy, if you were to pick one player from each team, just one player from each team that you're looking for to kind of step up here in this third period, who are you looking at?
Oh, that's tough. For Carolina, I haven't heard much of Sebastian Aho's name all night. I'm looking for him to step up. He's going to be my big X factor here. And for the Devils, where's Nico Hischier? Where has he been? I haven't seen. He's been relatively quiet, not just in this game, in this series too. So Nico Hischier,
I would disagree with that.
He's the captain of this team. He's got to step it up.
He did score the only goal of game 1, so.
Well, besides that,
I mean, he had a pretty solid first game, but I see what you're saying. You want your top guys to, step it up even more than where they're at. And that's kind of where I think that's what a lot of Devils fans will be looking to. So Hischier, I think, is a good pick. It's going to be interesting. And we've seen in the playoffs time and time again, Jimmy, where like it's usually not always, but it's usually the unlikely guys that end up making the biggest difference. I don't want to say Martinook is an unlikely candidate to score the game-winning goal, but, is it the guy that you firmly expect to be the one that's, helping your offense there in that situation?
Right.
It'd be tough to say. It's now Dougie Hamilton with a shot that just goes wide.
We got EG Pro in the chat. I'm not sure what he means. Like, what's Hurricanes related here? I have
no idea. Kobe Glass with a shot that was not fully covered by Anderson, but he gets his own rebound, and we'll get a face-off in the Carolina zone less than 2 minutes into this third period. Haven't heard much from Taylor Hall either. Former Devil, won a Hart Trophy in 2017-18 as a member of the Devils, helping them reach the playoffs for the first time. At that time, the first time since Game 6 of the 2012 Stanley Cup Finals. And he's been fairly quiet. He actually didn't practice this morning at morning skate. It's possible he could be dealing with something. Don't want to make an excuse, obviously, but
right.
Been relative. But he's fit in fairly well in Carolina since being acquired a couple months ago.
Yeah, I was literally going to say the same thing that Charles said. It's almost like he's rejuvenated his career ever since being traded to the Canes.
Well, I think it's that feeling of like you're back on a contending team. If you think about some of the teams, you think about some of the teams that he's played for. I mean, even there were times in New Jersey where the Devils weren't making the playoffs. He played in Buffalo. As that shot there by Jarvis gets blocked. He was in Chicago, and finally, he goes to Carolina and now has an opportunity to help a Hurricanes team, make a push for a Stanley Cup. So I can see how he can feel like kind of rejuvenated, but Devils come in with a backhand pass from Hull. It just goes wide of a streaking Palat. Chwalski gets it over to Eric Holla, but he was off sides. 2:20 into the third period. Carolina still with the 2-1 lead.
You mentioned Chicago. Speaking of Chicago, them and the Rangers are celebrating 100 years for the 2025-26 season. So 100 years of Blackhawks and Rangers hockey. So I'm sure they'll both have some big events to celebrate 100 years. And for Chicago's sake, I hope they're at least somewhat more competitive than they have been, because they've been a dumpster fire over the past God knows how long. And as far as my Rangers are concerned, I just hope they make the playoffs next year. That's all I'm going to say. I'm keeping my expectations low.
Simplify things, right? Just keep it simple. It's just keeping it simple, right? Just like make the play.
Exactly, yeah.
Don't care how you get it done. As that puck comes out in front, Nemec now with it. He takes a slap shot that just goes wide. As Walker trying to get it out for Carolina, and he's able to, gets it up to Roslovic. Now Jack Roslovic comes the other way for Carolina, drops it off to Robinson right side. He makes a feed in front, but nobody home. Good hit there from Justin Dowling, but now Gostisbehere keeps it in for Carolina. Gostisbehere now in the left corner. Sharp angle try that goes wide of Markstrom. Puck bouncing over to the right side. Carolina again doing a good job on the forecheck here. This is their third line on right now, making a play. Carrier now with it. Carrier with it. Takes the shot, and he rang it off the post. Rebound tried by Orlov. Gets blocked by a diving Bastion into the right corner. Carolina still with it now. Orlov on the left side. Feeds it to the right side to Chatfield. Now over to Carrier. Back to Chatfield. He takes a wrist shot, and that one is stopped and covered by Markstrom. But, oh my goodness, Alex Carrier, Jimmy, off the post, had all the time in the world, and he could not double the lead for the Canes.
He had him beat. The only thing that beat him was iron. Yikes. You can't get any closer than that. Goaltender's best French strikes again, and somehow it's still a 2-1 game. Unbelievable, man.
And you can look back. I mean, look, if the Devils do find a way to come back and win this game, you can look to moments like that as, the difference, right? The turning points even, just like, opportunities where the other team could have scored, they didn't, and then they were able to capitalize on that. So a break there for the Devils, and let's see what they can do with it. It's a long feed to Hischier. He tries to make a flip to Palat, but it's knocked down by Jacob Slavin, and Slavin will just nonchalantly pass it over to Jordan Stahl. That puck now at the Devils bench, and Martinook from his knees will just dump it in. Just about 4 minutes into this third period here. Hurricanes still with the 2-1 lead, but just moments ago, nearly doubled it. off of a shot that hit off the post from Carrier. Shots now 20-19, Jimmy, as only the Devils have finally reached 20 shots. So this has been a low shot game, a very tight checking, very tight defensive game from both teams.
How many shots did the Devils have in game one, just out of curiosity?
19.
Oh, okay. So almost the same as tonight, except they have 20 tonight. Okay.
They have 20 now. So yeah, I mean, so in terms of shots on goal, it's an improvement from game number one.
True. That is true.
The Canes, I think it was, a lot of people even said it after game one that it was unrealistic to expect the Canes to keep putting up 40-plus shots. The shot there from the point by Orlov, it was a bounce, but it's gloved and covered by Markstrom. Dmitry Orlov continuing to have himself a pretty strong game, particularly offensively. But another good save is Markstrom continuing to do what he can to try to keep the Devils down by just one.
You thought they had 24 shots? Close enough. Close enough-ish.
Somewhat. Well, they might have had it at one point, and then during the intermission, they took away shots. That could happen.
That's true.
Every now and then, so
that's true. I have this series.
He's talking about RJ. Actually, so RJ corrected me. The Devils had 24 shots in game one. So they have a couple of fewer shots, at least right now. Gotcha. But obviously the game itself is a lot different than what it was in game number one.
Right. I have the series going 7 because of Carolina's road.
Wow.
That's a good point. Being generous. Carolina does have a good road record. You're right about that, Eric.
No, they don't. They have a terrible road record. They have a dominant home record. They have
that's what I was thinking of.
I think they were like 10 games below 500. They really struggled on the road. But here comes Seth Jarvis up the left wing. Jarvis trying to get around Dumoulin. Good play there by Dumoulin to knock him down, to knock the puck away, as Bratt was able to get it over to Dumoulin, and now the Devils will come the other way. Dumoulin makes a feed, and that hits off the stick of Kovacevic, and now the Hurricanes will come the other way here. Sebastian Aho into the zone. Aho stops. Waits, gets it back top of the point, but nobody's there except Timo Meier, who will take it in himself. Makes a feed to Dougie Hamilton. Dougie Hamilton with a drive, and that one goes wide of Freddie Anderson. Carrier now looking to try to get the other way here, and that one is slowed up. And Dougie Hamilton will settle it here for New Jersey. He flips it now over to Nico Hischier, who gets knocked down. I don't think there will be a penalty. No, there is a penalty. So Jordan Staal's going to touch it up, but it's going to be a tripping call against Carolina. So just a little under 6 minutes into this third period, the Devils will get their third power play of the night, again with a chance to tie this up, and Staal is not happy with that call.
Well, regardless of what Staal thinks, this is a massive power play opportunity for New Jersey, a chance to tie this game, make this a whole new hockey game. And looking at the replay here, yeah, that does look a little bit questionable. I can definitely see Staal's complaint.
It's kind of a light tap, honestly, on Hischier. Yeah. It's not like egregious. So the fact that they called it was kind of a surprise. And Rob Brind'Amour, Rob Brind'Amour is trying very hard not to completely lose his you-know-what on that one. He's not happy with that. But nonetheless, a big opportunity here. Like you mentioned, Jimmy, if you're New Jersey, you're down by a goal. It's early in the third. Your power play has yet to convert here in these playoffs, but this is another opportunity to get on the score sheet.
Yeah, it's a gift, and you got to take advantage of this here. It's not Carolina. I can definitely see their complaint. Again, I just saw another replay. Yeah. Like you say, it's just a light. It's nothing egregious. Like he definitely tried to sell that a little bit. So this is a gift, and if you're the Devils, you need to take advantage of this.
Jesper Bratt, top of the point, over to Hischier, left side. Hischier now to Dougie Hamilton. Now over to Bratt. Bratt makes a feed, and just out of the reach of Timo Meier. He falls down, and so does Martinook. And now Nason and Slavin fighting for it. Both teams fighting for it behind the net. Bratt gets to it. Feeds now over to Nico Hischier, left side. Now to Dougie Hamilton, top point. Now over to Hischier, left side. Gets to the Bratt. Bratt with a drive through traffic. That's stopped and fought off by Anderson. Devils trying to keep it in here as both teams whacking at it in the left corner. And now Bratt gets it over to Dougie, keeps it in. Dougie Hamilton left side, now to Bratt. Bratt walking the line here, looking to set up. He spins, gets over to Dougie with a drive. Great diving block. Opportunity there, stop. Rebound, try, and Meier missed the net. Martinook desperately trying to clear it, and he does on a diving play. And a great chance for Timo Meier, but he couldn't get it all on net. That is a brutal miss there with Anderson caught out a little bit And now the Devils trying to keep it in the zone here. They do. Shimon Nemec gets to it for New Jersey, stops, looking for help, gets it over now to Brad. He'll settle it. Now to Timo Meier. Up to Brett, top of the point. Brett, wrist shot. That one's deflected. Scramble in front. Tatar with the puck. Now to Brett. Over to Timo Meier. Shot. Rebound. Try and stop by Anderson as well on Stefan Nason. Devils continuing the pressure here. Top of the point to Timo Meier. Meier now with it. He still has it. Left side over to Brett. 25 seconds to go on the power play. Brett, top of the point. He's walking it up slowly. He passes it over. Deflected by Nemec. Goes wide. Robinson gets to it, and he will finally clear it. Nearly a breakaway the other way, shorthanded. Now Nemec will get to it, and he'll dump it in, but couple of grade A opportunities for the Devils. They could not cash in, and the Hurricanes will kill off that power play.
Well, I'll tell you what. That power play looked tremendous. That's the best I've seen this Devils power play look all night. They got their chances. They may not have scored. Give Anderson credit. Give the Carolina penalty kill credit. But that power play looked awfully good. If they get another one, don't be surprised if they cash in.
So the Devils not able to cash in on that one. Shots now 24-21 in favor of New Jersey. So the Devils have reached the same amount of shots on goal they had in game number 1. They also still have the same amount of goals. But the game is obviously a lot tighter with it being 2-1. And that was nearly a turnover by Anderson. Cotter almost was able to surprise him short side. But the Hurricanes were able to get to it and clear. Devils putting on a good push right now here as they're trying to get this game tied. As Hamilton up the center of the ice, flips it to left side to Mercer. Mercer stops, takes a shot, gets blocked. Bastion behind the net. He tries to tuck it, but it gets stopped by Anderson. And now the Hurricanes look to come the other way, looking with numbers. Gostisbehere tried to make a feed over. It gets broken up by New Jersey, and Mercer will flip it out.
Aggressiveness from the Devils, and so far, they have been the more aggressive team here. Carolina just standing tall on defense.
Oh, and a great diving opportunity by Blake, but he gets tripped, and the Canes are going to go to the power play here with 10:47 to go in the third. So now the Hurricanes will go to the power play with a chance to double the lead. 10:47 to go in the third. Hurricanes clinging on to a 2-1 lead.
Maybe a little too aggressive. Just saying. Maybe a little too aggressive.
You give Blake credit there. He made the dangerous play and
right,
drew a penalty.
Yeah.
That's really all that matters there, right? Either he was going to score or draw a penalty. So that way, he kind of won out either way.
You don't have to wonder what Brendan Moore is thinking. Oh, you're talking about the penalty?
He's mad.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what he was thinking.
What happened to Kyle? Kyle was feeling under the weather, so he logged off for the night, but we wish him well. He'll be on for the next stream, hopefully, but Kyle's just not he's not feeling 100% tonight. If only Anderson was like this with Toronto. That is true. Right?
That's true. Well, if he had a better defensive system in Toronto, I think things would have been different.
Speaking of Toronto, they're up 1-0 in the first
2-0.
intermission. Shots are 10-7 in favor of Toronto.
2-0.
What did I say? 1-0?
You said 1-0, yeah. No, you're good.
Oh, okay, my bad. I'm sorry.
2-0 Leafs over the Senators. So the Leafs continue to have their way with Ottawa so far in that series. But again, I mean, just like a lot of these series, right? I mean, there's still a lot of hockey to be played, and you still got to go on the road if you're Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, Ottawa's going to be a tough place to play. That crowd is going to be raucous. And like I said, this Ottawa team is young. They're fast. I know they're struggling in Toronto right now. I have the series going 7 personally, and I picked the Senators solely because of the fact that I don't trust Toronto, and until they can prove to me that they can win another playoff series, I will forever not trust them. And I think Ottawa's the faster team here, so I have that series going 7.
Fair enough. Showing a couple replays of just some great saves that Freddie Anderson made on that power play, particularly on Timo Meier. Shimon, actually, no, it wasn't Nemec. I think it was Markstrom, actually, that's going to get called. No, it was Nemec. They called it. Shimon Nemec goes to the box. Well, it kind of looked like they both tricked him at the same time, but I guess they gave it to Nemec because he was the first offender of that. But big power play here, Jimmy, if you're Carolina. You have an opportunity to double the lead, and I feel like as long as this remains a 1-goal game, the Devils are still feeling fairly confident that they can get back in this.
Yeah, I feel like next goal is going to be a big momentum booster. If Carolina scores, I feel like that's going to be the way this game has gone, it might be the nail in the coffin. But if the Devils score, you got a whole new hockey game here, and they'll have all the momentum for the rest of the third period. But we shall see what happens with Carolina on the power play here.
Nico Hischier doing a good job of killing off some time there. Hurricanes 0 for 2 on the power play with one shot so far here, but all it takes is one to really get going. Hurricanes had a power play goal in game number 1 thanks to Logan Stankoven. Now they set up here with Svechnikov, top of the point to Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere has it. Now to the left side to Blake. Gostisbehere fakes the slap shot. Right side now to Jarvis. Jarvis now with the puck. Back to Gostisbehere, top of the point. Flips it over to Jarvis. Jarvis with it. Now to Blake. Blake with it now left corner. Back to Jarvis, top of the point. Jarvis fakes a slap shot. Back to Jarvis. Jarvis with a shot. And that one gets blocked in front. Little less than a minute to go on the power play. Aho over to Svechnikov. Now to Jarvis. Drive. And that one goes high and wide of the net. Pesce just tries to slap it out of the zone. He can't get it out. Aho now to Jarvis. Jarvis now with it. Back to Aho. Sebastian Aho slows it up. Gives it to Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere with it. He waits. Gives it to Jarvis. Fakes the slap shot. Gostisbehere back with it again. 35 seconds to go on the man advantage. Jarvis now with it. Left side to Blake. Blake now a drive by Gostisbehere, and that goes wide of Markstrom. Canes are able to still keep it in here. Good flip. Svechnikov with it. He waits. Feeds it in front. Puck is coming out loose. Nobody there. Blake with a shot. That gets blocked by a diving Pesce, and Dawson Mercer clears.
Man, oh man.
Brett Pesce
How much closer can you get on that chance?
Brett Pesce is literally playing the defensive game of his life, trying to keep the Canes from getting anything there. Power play is up for Carolina. Shot there and a great save by Markstrom. Puck is loose and the Devils clear again. Oh, a fantastic play defensively. And the Devils are now 3 for 3 on the kill. And it's still 2-1 Carolina with 8.5 minutes to go in the third.
I'll tell you what, that is a massive, massive penalty kill by New Jersey. Brett Pesce, whether the Devils win or lose this game, Brett Pesce deserves to be one of the stars of tonight's game. He is putting on a defensive clinic and is doing everything that he possibly can to help the Devils get in this game, or still be in this game, I should say.
8:20 to go in the third. Canes with a power play, but could not cash in. They still lead it here late in the third, 2-1 in game 2. So this has been it's been a fun game, Jimmy. This is a fun game coming right down to the wire.
Oh, this is fun. Even though these are two teams that obviously are rivals to me, I'm having fun watching this game. I love watching these two teams go at it every single year, especially when it comes to playoff time. You know, I really don't know, just personal bias aside, because I jokingly say I don't know who I want to lose more, but personal bias aside, I really am enjoying this game.
I am as well, despite obviously the Devils not winning at the moment here. Charles saying absolutely, talking about Brett Pesce, absolutely, he should be a star no matter the outcome. He has had a 100%. Great game. He's blocked numerous shots. He's made 2 diving plays with his stick to keep the puck out. It could easily be 4-5-1 Carolina if not for Brett Pesce tonight. And you really hope, if you're the Devils as a whole, you really hope you can find a way to come back and win this game, and so that the effort that they put in goes for something instead of going for naught, because it's tough. And I think you're seeing in a game like this, you're seeing just how much it sucks to not have someone like Jack Hughes in the lineup who is a game changer. You know, you don't have him in the lineup, so it causes, you know, you're not able to, you know, have that guy that can really break out and make a goal. And goals, as you know, Jimmy, are hard to come by in the playoffs. No matter how good or how talented you are, it's about getting that timely goal scoring. And right now, the Devils desperately looking for that next goal, as they're showing Jackson Blake on the bench. 17 goals, 17 assists, 34 points in 81 games this year. Pretty solid year for the young forward for Carolina. He drew the most recent penalty that resulted in a power play for Carolina. Again, they did not cash in, so it remains 2-1 here with 8.5 minutes to go in this game.
I still want to see the Devils continue their aggressiveness, especially on that last power play.
Sure.
Like I said, if they get another one here, I want to see them continue to be, if they can continue to be aggressive the way they are, they're going to eventually find one in the back of the net.
Without question. And I think if you're the Devils overall, I think you have to feel better about the performance you've played up until this point. Some bad bounces here, but Cotter almost had a chance there, but they ruled it offsides with 7:58 to go in the third. But yeah, no, I mean, if you're Sheldon Keefe and the Devils, obviously you want to get the right result. You want to find a way to win. But if they don't find a way to win, you can at least have solace in the fact that you had a much better effort here in game 2. You made it. You pushed, and it was going to be a challenge regardless. And again, playoffs are all about moments, right? And it was just those little moments in the first couple minutes of the second that so far are the difference in the score as of right now. But again, 7:58 is a lot of time left in this game with it being as close as it is.
Yeah, it is a lot of time, but it is running short if you're the Devils. You got to find a way here to at least get one here to try and at least force overtime.
Indeed, as now Palat carries it out for New Jersey. He'll flip it high into the air. Nico Hischier keeps it in. He waits. Toe drag shot gets blocked. Kovacevic fighting along with Jordan Staal, and Stahl's able to dump that all the way down. And that'll be enough for an icing here with 7.5 minutes to go in this third. Jesper Bratt with a really solid game here in game 2. He has the lone goal for the Devils back in the first. 5 shot attempts in just under 17.5 minutes of play. We definitely will expect to see a lot of him down the stretch here as the Devils look to try to get this game even. Faceoff will be to the right of Freddie Anderson in the Hurricane zone. The faceoff won by the Devils here. Brett Pesce with it. Pesce, he takes a wrist shot that gets deflected up and out of play.
If you're just tuning in, first of all, thank you. Alongside Neil Villapiano, my name is Jimmy Finizzi. Neil hosts Devil State of Mind. I host From the Blue Seats, a New York Rangers podcast. You might be asking what the hell I'm doing here. I was going to come on anyway with Neil and Kyle. Kyle Manifold had to step out for the night, not feeling 100%. But we're covering Game 2 of Devils and Hurricanes. Hurricanes have a 1-0 series lead, and they also have a 2-1 lead here in Game 2. Game 3 will be Friday night in New Jersey, 8 p.m. Eastern Time from The Rock. Game 4 will be on Sunday afternoon. And that is where we stand right now. And again, we want to thank you for joining us. Be sure to subscribe to the THPN YouTube channel and hit that like button if you are new here. And hit the bell so you're notified of all live streams that we do here on the network.
Puck right now in the left corner of the Devils zone as Dougie Hamilton will get to it for New Jersey. He'll flip it up to Dawson Mercer. Puck bounces out in front. Hurricanes now controlling it. Seth Jarvis stops, tries to get it top of the point. Nobody home. Now puck is behind the net in the Devils zone. Mercer now will get to it. He'll backhand it up the boards, and he'll get it out as Jarvis gets hit by Jesper Bratt. Bratt will flip it back to his teammate, and now it's settled by Shimon Nemec, who has a lot of space, and he'll dump it into Carolina's zone. 6:33 to go in this period. Bastian now tries to feed it in front. Devils keeping it in. Chowalski over to Nemec. Nemec now with it. He'll dump it around the boards, get it over to Tatar, but he loses the puck and is taken away by Gostisbehere, and then the Canes will flip it out of the zone. Chowalski's back there first for New Jersey. He'll bounce it off the boards, get it over to Tatar. Now to Nemec. Nemec gets around one defender, tries to feed it to Tatar, gets broken up. Puck gets loose for a moment, feeds it. One-time shot! That would have stopped, and the rebound gets snuffed out as well. Nate Bastian with the shot there, but he could not cash in. Another great save there by Freddie Anderson. Canes come the other way. Have an opportunity to sharp angle shot. That one is stopped, and the rebound try goes wide. Robinson putting on some good pressure on the forecheck for Carolina with 5:47 to go in this game. Timo Meier, he lost an edge and lost the puck. Puck comes back out near Markstrom, and he'll just lightly tap it away, and Nemec will slow it down. But again, Jimmy, the story for the most part in this game has been Freddie Anderson having a tremendous game too, as Hischier gets knocked down. That looked like just a solid hit, I think. I don't think there will be a penalty. But yeah, again, Freddie Anderson, great game from him up until this point.
Yeah, no, amazing game from Freddie Anderson. You got to give the credit where it's due. Want to remind you that DraftKings is the official sports betting partner of the Stanley Cup playoff. New customers bet $5, get $200 instantly in bonus bets only at DraftKings. The crown is yours. Use code THPN at sign up. Must be 21 or older in select states, and please play responsibly.
5 minutes exactly to go in this game. Martinook comes in. He tries to take a slap shot, but a good stick lift there by Nason to negate that one. Devils now at center ice with the puck. Good poke check by Stankoven, but the Devils keep it in for a moment. Nason in the right corner fighting along with Stankoven. Good play. Orlov tries to flip it out, and then he's able to get it out on the second opportunity. Kotkaniemi now with the puck. He's by himself looking for reinforcements. He gets run down by Palat. Both teams fighting for it in the left corner in the New Jersey zone. Dumoulin now gets to it for New Jersey. And Dumoulin feeds it now over to Cotter. Cotter flips it to Kovacevic. Kovacevic will forehand it off the boards. Puck comes back out, and the Devils will reset again with 4:15 to go. Dumoulin now with the puck. He comes into the zone. Dumoulin tries to make a pass. It gets broken up. And now an opportunity here, but just out of the reach of Taylor Hall. And Markstrom will be the first to get to it for New Jersey. But we're going to keep our eye, Jimmy, on Jacob Markstrom at this point. And we got to see when Sheldon Keefe decides to pull him for the extra skater. As now Jesper Bratt with a shot that goes wide of the net. Mercer gets there. He throws it in front just wide of Freddie Anderson. Now Dougie Hamilton with a shot that also goes wide the other way. Puck bounces into the right corner here where Cotter fights for it. Cotter gets it to Pesce, but he falls down. Gosper tries to flip it out of the zone, and he just is able to do so. There's now opportunity here with some space. Slap shot there. Pass over to Gosper. Gosper feeds it in front. Shot. Stopped in the rebound. Try is denied by Jacob Markstrom, denying Seth Jarvis there with 3:24 to go in the third. Canes still up 2-1, looking that 2-0 series lead.
Look back at that save by Markstrom, because if the Devils somehow find a way to come back and tie this game, they will look back at that save. That is a big time, that's a big boy save there by Jacob Markstrom. And now it's crunch time here for New Jersey. They're probably going to end up pulling Markstrom within these next minute and 30 seconds or so. It might help them if they have the extra skater maybe to try and fool Freddie Anderson a little bit, create a little bit of extra traffic, so maybe that would help. But nevertheless, you got to continue to be the more aggressive team here. You have been the entire third period, and Freddie Anderson has beat you. You need to beat him, and you got to find that open slot to tie this game.
Without question. And again, if you're a Devils fan, as frustrating as it is right now with them being down 2-1 late in this third, you got to appreciate the effort, though, from this team. They've been a lot better in all facets of the game. They've kept it close for up until this point. They've put themselves in some opportunities here, and now they'll have another chance, hopefully, if they do get a chance to pull the goaltender and looking to try to tie it. If they can find a way to tie it here and force overtime, I mean, that's a huge, huge win for the Devils, and maybe that gives them the momentum that they need to maybe complete the comeback in overtime. But the first things first, you've got to find a way to tie it here with a little over 3 minutes to go. And if you're Carolina, I mean, look, they're not just playing back and allowing the Devils to bombard them with shots. You know, they're trying to be aggressive. They're trying to take advantage of opportunities going the other way. And they've had a couple of chances, but again, Markstrom snuffing them out. And they just showed a replay, Jimmy, of that shot from Bastian. I think he would have liked to have shot that a little wider to his left, but ended up going right into Freddie Anderson as he was pushing off from his left to his right on that one. So it was unfortunate. And then they just showed Jarvis getting denied on a pass right in front. Oh. And Jarvis definitely frustrated as he's yet to contribute on the score sheet. But again, it is still, a long series. There's still more time to contribute here.
There's a reason they make it a best of 7.
There you go. Face off to the left of Jacob Markstrom in the Devils zone, and it's won by Carolina for a moment there. Dougie Hamilton looking for some help. 3:15 and ticking to go in this third. Stankoven lost the puck, but now Jordan Stahl regains it for Carolina, takes a shot through traffic. That one gets stopped by Markstrom. Brad flips it over to Timo Meier, and the Devils look to come the other way. Timo Meier with the puck. He's being hounded, but he'll bat it around to the other side now where Jacob Slavin will get to it, and he'll calmly backhand it out of the zone. It'll go back where Brett Pesce will play it. Now it's off the boards here. Puck stays in the Carolina zone, but the Devils can't control it with 2:45 and ticking to go in this third. Jesper Bratt will flip it now into the left side. It'll go to Anderson, who will one-handed push it into the left corner. Puck is bouncing, comes out in front, but the Hurricanes get to it first. And Carrier will dump it in, Aho will dump it in. And now Dumoulin fighting along with Jarvis. Dumoulin now with the puck. He'll backhand it over to Kovacevic, who will have some space. And Kovacevic will make a long feed off of Cotter, and it goes into the Carolina zone. Hurricanes again are able to get it out before the Devils can set up. 2:13 and ticking to go in this one. And Cotter will fire it into the right corner. No icing here, as the Canes will get to it without issue. But no, it's intercepted by Cody Glass. Cody Glass with the puck. Feeds it now over to Nemec. Nemec with a shot through traffic gets blocked. Puck goes all the way back down. Markstrom is yet to be pulled with 1:55 to go. Kovacevic Up to Nemec, who will dump it into the left corner. Mercer or Walker are the ones fighting along there with the puck. Both teams trying to get to it first. Jordan Stahl lost it for a moment. Martinook trying to chip it out of the zone, and he does. Martinook with the puck up the left side. Dougie falls down, but that puck comes out to Markstrom, who will play it away dangerously. Now gets it over. Drive there is stopped. Devils now got to see if they can make a push. Less than 90 seconds to go in this one.
Keep an eye on
Markstrom. We will keep our eye on Dougie Hamilton here, and on Markstrom, and he has been pulled. Extra skater on for New Jersey if they could set it up. Backhand try, pass doesn't clear. This one, they can't get out. Pratt throws it in front. That's the rebound try, and he whiffed on it. Puck comes out loose. Devils control it. Pratt will dump it into the left corner. Nason backhands it around to the other side. Stankoven tries to clear it out, gets it to Jarvis, and Jarvis will just have to backhand it into the Jersey zone. 55 seconds to go in this one. Timo Meier feeds it over to the right side to Dougie Hamilton. Hamilton fighting on with Orlov. Wraps it around into the right corner. Puck comes out in front, but Anderson will glove it and cover with 44 seconds to go. And Timo Meier, all he can do is shake his head as that puck came right on in front to him. And I think he might have fanned on. I got to see it again here on the replay for a rebound chance. And he did fan on it. It came right to him.
How do you whiff on that? You had it in your hands and you whiffed it. Oh my goodness. Oh, Timo Meier. Ouch.
That is a brutal miss there with the game on the line. 44.3 to go. And Sheldon Keefe wants a timeout to talk to his team. So we are really
timeout by Sheldon Keefe.
We are really coming down to the wire here, Jimmy, in this one. And a lot of tense moments. Again, Carolina can hold on here. They will go up 2-0. If the Devils can tie this game up and then score in overtime, because I assume that's what, unless the Devils pull out, 2 goals in 44 seconds,
right.
The Devils can come back and win. They will even up the series with games 3 and 4 being played in New Jersey.
Devils net will obviously still continue to be empty here, but I really like what I'm seeing from New Jersey here in this third period. Even if they don't tie this game, you gotta feel good going into game 3, knowing that you played a much better game here in game 2. Despite that second period, you should have some momentum going into game 3, no matter what happens here.
Absolutely. I mean, again, you've played. You've kind of slowly improved as this series has gone along, right? You had a terrible second period of game number 1 that was kind of the difference maker. And then you come into this game and you've played, for the most part, a much better game overall. But you still got time here. You still have some time, not a lot, but you still have some time here with a chance to maybe tie it. Face off to the left of Freddie Anderson in the Carolina zone. Jordan Stahl and Nico Hischier at the face-off dot here, waiting for the ref. Face-off won by the Canes. Martinook gets to it. He'll fire it down, but he gets it over to Seth Jarvis, and Jarvis will lightly tap it in. And that is going to be the nail in the coffin as the Hurricanes are on their way to a 2-0 series lead as the series will head back to New Jersey.
That's a tough one to swallow if you're the Devils. You played so well in that third period. Freddie Anderson, you had trouble solving him. Give him credit, though. Freddie Anderson came up with big when he needed him most. But granted, Devils were the more aggressive team. They played so much better. But Carolina getting the empty net goal, sealing the deal. They might have a 2-0 series lead. But like I said, if you're the Devils, you got to be feeling good about things here because you definitely played better down the stretch of this game. And going into game 3, you definitely want to carry that over.
It's still going to sting nonetheless because you had your chances. I mean, you even think about, you could go back to several chances. Timo Meier there right at the end. If he had gotten that puck on his stick, for all we know, that puck ends up in the back of the net and we have a tie hockey game. But, look, playoff hockey is such a game of inches, man. You got to take advantage when you get those opportunities. And Paul Cotter comes in with a shot and he misses it wide of Anderson, looking to try to cut the deficit to 1 with 20 seconds to go. But barring an absolute miracle, which isn't going to happen, Svechnikov will get around Chowalski. He'll take a shot that'll go wide of Jacob Markstrom with 10 seconds to go. Hurricanes will really just let this clock run. Puck comes out in front. 3 seconds, 2 and 1. And that'll do it as the Hurricanes, with a semi-come-from-behind win, they gave up the first goal, but they ended up with the last 3. And they come away with a 3-1 win here in Game 2. and take a 2-0 series lead as the series now shifts to the Garden State for games 3 and 4 with game 3 on Friday night.
Stars of the game for me, definitely for both teams here. Brett Pesce for New Jersey had a defensive clinic tonight. I don't want to say single-handedly kept the Devils in this game, but he definitely helped out Jacob Markstrom when he needed to the most. He had an awesome game. Give him a lot of credit. Jesper Bratt, you look at him as well, scoring the only goal. He's off to a good start. But Brett Pesce, for me, is the star for the Devils. And for the Hurricanes, I mean, look no further than Freddie Anderson. I mean, he single-handedly helped the Hurricanes win that game. He came up with some clutch saves down the stretch when the Devils were being aggressive with those offensive chances with a couple of those scrums that we saw earlier on in the second period. Freddie Anderson, to me, is the lone star of the game for Carolina, and he's going to look to continue that momentum as we head into Game 3 on Friday night. But as a Ranger fan, I do have a message for Devil fans out there. Even though your team is down... No. Genuine seriousness here. Even though you are down 2-0 here, go into the Rock and cheer your heart out for this team. You know, I understand they struggled down the stretch going into the postseason, but hey, you made it. You don't have Jack Hughes, I get all that, but your team is here. Enjoy the moment. Heck, you might even make the series 2-1. You never know what's going to happen. You're at home. You have a chance to take control of the series somehow if you win Game 3. If you win Game 3, you have a good chance to get this series tied back to Carolina. So you go in there and cheer your hearts out for this team, no matter what happens.
Couldn't put it better myself, but on that note, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Thank you to everybody who spent some of their Tuesday evening with us. We really, really do appreciate it. Shout out to Kyle as well. We wish him that he feels better. So unfortunately, he couldn't continue along with us. But nonetheless, Jimmy, thank you so much for joining on as well. We do appreciate it. And again, thank you to everybody who hung out with us. Make sure to leave a like on this stream, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any live watch-alongs that we do throughout the Stanley Cup playoffs. We have live watch-alongs every single day here on the network, so you guys do not want to miss out on all of the action. But we really do appreciate it again. And as always, we will see you in the next live watch along. Jimmy?
And if I could really quick, I apologize. I just want to plug both our shows here real quick for those that do not know. Go subscribe to Devil's State of Mind podcast. Neil does amazing coverage for the New Jersey Devils. Go subscribe to his show on YouTube and all audio platforms. And go subscribe to my, also to Flamescast as well. Shout out to Flamescast. Neil and Kyle do a great job covering the Calgary Flames as well. Go subscribe to Flamescast. And subscribe to From the Blue Seats, a New York Rangers podcast as well. Also on YouTube and all audio platforms. We are currently almost at 115 subscribers on our YouTube channel, so thank you guys for that. But honestly, these guys deserve way more attention than me, so go subscribe to their show, but please subscribe to From the Blue Seats as well. And that's going to do it for us. Thank you guys. And Neil, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Pleasure's all mine, my friend. But again, thank you to everybody for hanging out with us here tonight. Once again, the final score from Carolina. The Hurricanes lock it down and win this one 3-1 and now have a 2-0 series lead against the New Jersey Devils. But the series now shifts to the Garden State, and we'll see what the Devils can do to try to defend their own home ice. So for Jimmy Finizzi, I'm Neil Villapiano. Thank you all again, and make sure to have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday night. And as always, hockey fans, make sure to rock on.